viewers. So here we are live again. And we got a whole lot to talk about tonight. We got some cats amped up. The ones that talk the most in the chats don't never get on here though. But I let Jennis name the names, but
they know who they are, man. They know who they are.
Y'all be having me rolling, man.
Yeah, it'll just be fun to get everybody on, man. We got a lot of cool, intelligent people in the group that look at things way different from everybody, which makes it real interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you go ahead and start off, man. I'm gonna go while you're doing that. I'm gonna tag some people and get some folk watching, and I'm assuming Brandon and a few other guys will join us tonight.
He said he was on the way or whatever, but we'll see.
Yeah, he usually does. He just be running late,
Yeah, so. As long as he ain't in his car or sideways or got the lights off. One of those things. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I want to get it out the way. I don't know how long this is going to take to discuss this, but it's the hottest thing happening right now. And I saw a couple posts that C. Ray made about the Clippers and their L in that series against Denver. And some of the takeaways, some of the expectations going in. I'm gonna start off, the top. I hope he's watching. As much as it hurts to say, Dolemar called it straight up. Nuggets in 7. The bet was if they won, I'd call him the Negro Diamonds of the group. Which
he actually had the Nuggets winning, huh?
Listen, he had the Nuggets winning in 7. Me and a few other folks were going back and forth with him probably for about 2 weeks. It seemed like probably only like a week, but sports time it seemed like it was forever. But yeah, he called it. He called it straight up, stuck to it. So I got to give him his kudos, man, because it was a good call. Because I didn't care either way, but I could have. There was no way in my mind that I thought the Nuggets were going to come back from 3-1.
Now, hold up. Let me ask a question now, and I don't know if Dolemar is present yet. Yeah, he's here now. Brother, were you still banging for Denver when they were down 3-1? I want to know the truth.
Who?
I'm talking to Dolemar.
Oh, yeah, he was. I can answer that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I can answer that. We were going back and forth.
So he still had his encouragement. He still had the strength when they were down 3-1, huh?
Listen, I heard it more when they were down 3-1.
More.
I heard it more when they were down 3-1.
Chris and I can attest when Dolemar dug in, he gonna dig in no matter what.
Oh yeah. I mean, we could talk about the Raptors and all that stuff, which he almost got me there too. Had the here's what happened. If the Raptors had beat the Celtics, he would have been right on that too. But they didn't, thank goodness. But if even though Jamal Murray scored 40 in Game 7, if he had scored 50 in that game in the one, it would have been bad, worse than it already is. I mean, he's already bringing up old posts and all that stuff to make sure everybody's aware that he said Nuggets in Game 7.
Hey man, you know what? If he stuck with them, and he stuck with them when they were down 3-1, and he still stuck with them, gotta give him his props, man. Because if my team was down 3-1, I'd be like, oh.
Well,
it was a good season. They had a nice run.
It ain't even. There was probably only 2 people in the whole group, and I know there's one Nuggets fan that I know of. Dolemar ain't no Nuggets fan, but he just liked them better than the Clippers, matchup wise and all that good stuff. But Troy Berry is a Nuggets fan. He through and through, so he'll pop his head in there.
It was all about matchups. It wasn't just pure hate, was it?
No, I think I felt like it was a little bit of both, but more so matchups. I think he felt the matchups benefited. And I don't think he was ever really sold on the Clippers. That's just me talking for our communication back and forth.
I'm gonna say this. I thought and I'll be honest, COVID, I thought the Clippers were a better team to go to the finals. After COVID, and then after they were trying to start the bubble up, and Clippers were talking about, and we don't know if we want to be there and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know what this is. So I kind of got disinterested, to be honest with you. And I was like, I don't know what these teams going to be kind of funny right now. I don't know if they're motivated, what their motivation is, how they feeling about this whole thing. And I'm not making excuses, by the way. I'm just saying I just was kind of like, you know, and then I kind of call a few games the Lakers were, you know, call some Laker games and some of the other games, and then I know the fraudsters, the Houston frauds, and I knew what they were going to do. So, but I did not expect when the Clippers went up 3-1. There is no excuse for them choking this way, man. I mean, they should have won, man. They should have won that series.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they were going to go and beat LA. The Lakers. I'm just saying it should have been a Western Conference showdown with the Clippers and Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the Clippers were the better team in my opinion. Or I should say this. They have a better cast.
Right.
They have a set of better players than the Nuggets.
Hey, Chris,
now,
that meme I posted, them two boys combined for 24 points.
Yeah.
That's terrible, man.
Yeah. No, it's shameful. You can't even explain how bad they played last night. It was. I mean, you know, I don't love the Clippers or nothing, but I mean, they're not Boston in my book, right? So you know, I don't hate them, but it's, you know, the fans just get on my nerves. So you got to down them. But last night was like it was embarrassing
for the city
bro.
of LA.
It was embarrassing the way they showed up. It's like, ain't nobody gonna put on. Don't nobody want it. I mean, Kawhi just like, well, forget it. I'm just going for 50. We're gonna lose, but you know, we're gonna lose going down. I'm going down shooting. It was just like in the middle of the game, I was looking at them. I was like, these dudes don't want to be here.
That's what I heard, man. I didn't watch it. Yeah. What I heard, yeah.
It looked like A, they were playing not to lose, and then B, it was like, hey, we gonna lose, man. So can we just leave early? I was surprised that, you know, folks would just get a text so they could get kicked out.
I saw a post go down my timelines from Salaam said, dude hit the backside of the backboard, man. And I was like, he said wide open from the corner.
J-Mac, it looked like there was wind in the Wild Horse.
Yeah.
They were playing outside. Jermichael Green hit the side of the rim so hard, man. I was like, from both sides of the basket. I'm like, come on. They just felt me personally, I've never seen a team look as tight as they did in that fourth quarter. A professional team at least. Yeah. I've never seen, especially with those caliber of players, I've never seen that like ever. So, you know, that was what was weird to me as far as how they responded to that pressure. And it looked like Denver was like, we ain't got nothing to lose. Let me just go out here and
we just
increase the lead to 20.
We ain't even supposed to be here, so going forward.
Yeah, and I mean, Joker said that. You know, he had said that the game before, after that the interview in Game 6, and you know, how you feeling about Game 7? I was just like, I'm good. You know, we lose, we okay. He's like, we don't have nothing to lose. The pressure is on them, and it was obvious that it was true because I mean, they just came out so tight.
Yeah, it's true, and they know. I mean, let's keep it real. They know the pressure was on them because the team that they assembled, the expectation, you know, the city they represent, all that, you know. So, and the billboards that I keep posting is funny.
Billboards,
and all that stuff. So yeah, it was some expectation there, and then they out there choking, man. It's like, dude, you guys supposed to step up to the plate, you know. And I like Kawhi, but it's kind of like, I think somebody said, when there's no expectation for him, he plays great. But when there's expectation, it's like, and that Game 7, you know, because when he was in Toronto, there was no.
We needed him.
I mean, when he was in Toronto, he could just play wild and loose. You know what I'm saying? There was no expectation for them. You know, he was pretty much the only star there. So
and they weren't supposed to win, right?
And
I mean, they weren't supposed to beat the Sixers. They definitely weren't supposed to beat Golden State, you know, until the two stars went down.
Right.
So
there was really no pressure on them in Toronto. There was no pressure on him in San Antonio for real, because you had the other two stars, and then his job was just the bird dog LeBron. So that was pretty much an assignment, and that was really not a lot of pressure. So I would say him and PG folded under the pressure. This ain't the first time we saw Paul George fold on. He did that in Indiana when they was going up against Miami.
No.
Oh man, come on, man. They did.
No, before Paul George got hurt, man, he was giving Bron the business out in the East. He was the only one that wasn't scared.
That dude, man.
He was the only one that wasn't scared. He was the only one that wasn't scared of Bron. That's true.
I wouldn't say he's giving him the business. You're doing too much.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm not doing too much.
Doing too much.
He was giving Bron everything he can handle.
Bron wasn't guarding him.
Was he better than
Bron
Bron?
wasn't guarding him.
Hell no, he wasn't better than Bron.
And Indiana,
he was giving Bron the business.
When those series were on the line, Paul was out there choking, and all the rest of them. And Hibbert, he was looking like a bum. They act like they ain't know how to play no more, man. Come on, man. They were looking.
No, Indiana was tough.
Yeah, until game 7.
Peterson blowing in people's ear, and they were good. You had Rudy Gay trying to fight LeBron. I mean, they was all right.
But I'm just saying, when it comes to the big games and the pressure, this is the second time I've seen PG fold, and then this is the first time I've seen Kawhi with some pressure on him fold like that.
How many times you said you saw PG fold?
At least once.
You said one other time.
Once before, yeah.
You talking about OKC, yeah, right? Because I mean,
no, I'm talking about when he was in Indiana. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even.
There wasn't really no pressure in OKC. I don't think there was no pressure in OKC anyway.
Right, that wasn't no legitimate contender. Yeah. And you see what's the name? I give because I used to dog him a lot. I give CP3 his props, man. I mean he ain't the most athletic and the greatest point guard, but as far as the dog in him, he brings it, man.
Man, I think you gotta understand, man. CP3 is all that. That fool, he's athletic as shit too.
Well,
he's athletic.
He
got handles. He don't take no mess. He put people in their place when he needs to, but then they call him.
Right.
That's the problem. People who put folks in their place, they become the issue. But then when they ain't around, now all of a sudden they need somebody to put them people in their place. That's the tough thing about it all. And I hope I'm waiting for somebody to say they got a newfound respect for LeBron too. One of y'all two in the corners of the screen. I'm looking at y'all. Hey
man, I already said how I felt about LeBron, so I don't even have to rehash all that.
I'm talking about now. Now, how does what Kawhi did last night compare to what LeBron did against Dallas?
It's not the same.
I mean, it's not the same. No, okay. I mean, I didn't even watch it, but from listening to it in the analysis, no, it's not. It's nowhere near the same.
So what you're saying is it's worse.
What Kawhi did is worse.
Yeah.
Here comes Salaam. But like I said, Kawhi is talented. He's athletic. He's talented, but obviously he can't handle the pressure. That's the way I'm analyzing it, because when he was in Indiana, he did the same thing. And then Dolomar just said when he was in OKC, to Brandon's point, when he was in OKC, they played somebody, and he had 7 points. Yeah, he had 7 points or something. That's ridiculous, man. 7 points? You supposed to be a star and you got 7 points? Come on, dude.
PG's not it. Not it.
Huh?
I'm waiting for my apology from the people that said PG was top 10. I mean, man, I said they had 24 hours and they still ain't said.
I'm glad I ain't got to apologize for that too.
You know what, Brandon? He should be top 10.
But he's not. He hasn't been top 10 since Indiana.
Apparently not.
Not since Indiana. He's just been.
What's up, Salaam?
What's going on, fellas? I just finished it. I was on, so I just hopped on here. I heard y'all talking about Vashawn Leonard. So those who came on here to give him some grief.
Vashawn Leonard.
I wonder how many people remember Vashawn Leonard.
Yeah. What would you call him? Pandemic Paul and
the Paul, not the P.
Yeah, puppy Paul. Y'all remember The Wire when Marlo Stanfield was calling little dudes puppy paws? it was funny, man.
Paul.
Where's Dolamar and Al at, man? I want him to chime. I need
Al busy.
Dolamar's on the page.
Yeah.
Ask him whatever question you want to ask him.
Oh my God. I need to get him on the tube, man.
Man, he ain't coming on here, man. Might as well just go ahead and accept that.
Him and a Hassan. I don't know what the problem is.
Because Hassan ain't coming on. We've been trying to get Hassan on forever. So it is what it is.
Don't get down. But yeah, man. So y'all seen the latest? I mean, my man, I was over here reading this on ESPN. So Paul George talking about he was dealing with anxiety and depression. So
that was like a month ago.
David said
he brought it up again.
Yeah, he got to bring it up again. He need that excuse.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shaver said that PG backed out of coming to the Lakers because the spotlight was too bright, but I don't know, because LeBron was already the top dog there, so it really wouldn't have been a whole lot of pressure on him if you ask me.
Yeah, but
what am I looking
for? Still expectation though.
Why can't that be true? That can be true. I mean,
it's still an expectation.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some people don't like that. Some people don't like the expectations.
Mm-hmm. So, it's different.
You know, trying to deal with that and juggle things, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, playing for the Lakers is always pressure. You know, whether it's LeBron or, you know, AD, even if Jennis came over here, there'd be pressure.
No, wait. We were talking earlier. You know, I think Shavers posted that Tyronn Lue turned down the Lakers job because he didn't want to be looked at as LeBron coach. And I'm like,
You're dumb.
I mean, that would be like Phil saying, I don't want to be Jordan's coach, or I don't want to be Kobe's coach.
Well, but the difference is that Phil didn't know he was, you know, I mean, well, he knew who Jordan was, right? But Jordan hadn't won anything.
Right.
No, but I'm saying neither one of those guys had won before Phil showed up, right? So he's like, cool, I get to come in here and be the guy that takes them over the hump, right? So they're going to give me a whole lot of credit.
Yeah.
Versus, say, Tyronn Lue never won until, you know, Brian was right there with him and picked the team and was like, listen, Lou, you do what I say and we gonna win. And Lou was like, all right, cool.
You gotta understand though, C-Ray, y'all was trying to get rid of Vogel before the season even started, man. That's how y'all are on coaches and folks.
We told them.
Why they get Vogel? It ain't gonna work.
That's Lakers fans for you.
Has there ever been?
He didn't look. He ain't even had the first practice yet, and y'all like, get rid of Vogel.
No, but has there ever been a player as great as LeBron that had the list of less than heralded coaches that he's played for? You know,
right?
I mean, like if you started, however you want to start your top GOAT list or whatever, if you run down the coaching that they had, who who in the Hall of Fame, who got like. At least 500 wins, low end, but 1,000 wins and minimum, you know, really. But if you got 500, we'll talk with you. I mean, but for a minute, I was gonna say Dream until Rudy T got elected to go in the Hall of Fame coming up this year, and which I think is deserved. I mean, like take a 6-seed team and then you run roughshod on 3 60-win teams to get a repeat. Yeah, I give you that, especially when they counted you out. But I just never seen a guy of LeBron's caliber, you know, as far as all-time great status, to not have a great coach, you know, to play for, you know, with him. And I think that is a disservice to him, to be honest.
We've been saying that. We've been saying that for years, Salaam. And
yeah,
people say that's not a good enough excuse, and that LeBron runs coaches off and he picks his own team and it's his fault and all this other stuff. What I think is amazing is that now he's in LA and I don't hear any of that stuff. You know how much extra time I got? You know how much extra time I got to not defend LeBron since he's been in LA, man? It's been so I ain't had to say anything. Brandon, right? Am I right, Brandon? We ain't had to defend LeBron on nothing.
If I think I understand what you're saying here.
Oh, you understand it, J Mac. You
put my hat on. I think you're trying to say most of the noise was coming from LA.
Man,
correct.
At least in our group. You know what I mean? In our group,
one of them.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff about Bron. And then I know if Bron is in the West, he can't do what he's doing in the East.
Right.
Where do we find ourselves right now?
Right.
Where do we find
He
ourselves?
did the same damn thing.
We find him with Anthony Davis.
Man.
Okay.
And it
He
stopped
didn't
there.
have no Anthony Davis caliber dudes over, in the East. He was winning with Bub. And that's credit. That's an incredible credit. There's no way he would have got to the Western Conference Finals or won the West with Danielle Marshall, right, with Big Z and Pavlovich, right? No way he gonna get out of the West with those balls. And he got out of the East with them.
Let me
Won
rewind.
60 games in the East
That's
with them.
10 years ago, though.
Let me rewind. Though.
Yeah, no, it was a long time ago, but you know what I'm saying. That's all I was saying with had that same sort of cakewalk in the West.
Listen,
But Tristan better think of all that bread that he got him.
He's on the team that he's on in the West, and they're winning in the West. He was on the team that he was on in the East, they're winning in the East. Do you think LeBron said no to get to the point where he's making up his teams and pulling people in? Do you think he said no to Anthony Davis? I doubt it. So the same type of mentality he had in the East, he's brought to the West.
He recruited
the same results have happened.
Yeah, he recruited Anthony Davis. Yeah.
I'm not knocking none of that. I'm just saying he wouldn't have won with those bums like he was able to win in the East, and he couldn't get anybody to come over there to Cleveland like that, right? LA, you can sell it, right? Of course, now you got Clutch Sports and all that, so it's a different ball game, right? Now he just tell his boy to go bring him in.
Yeah.
But,
So
before he had to deal with whatever the GM got. Right, yeah. Whatever the GM showed up with, he had to play with. So I give him credit for that because unlike most, he didn't have a whole lot of say in the beginning, and so he just dragged the bums along with him, and made it past Game 7 after Game 7. Okay, so but I will admit that I was hating on Brian because he wasn't a Laker,
which is fine. Yeah, I mean,
because he wasn't a Laker.
It's not
a Laker. I'm good.
It's not fine.
I told you I was gonna be good if he became a Laker. I told you I'd be good.
I want to treat this with a little bit of nuance.
Go ahead, bro.
I think back to Game 7 of 2008 when he came like 1 minute short of knocking off Boston in their house. Okay, when he had like 45 or something like that, and True 41. So they dueled, but like. He had Ben Wallace right before he retired. He had Big Z, so like LeBron was doing the thing, what have you. But I just want to just put out there between 2008 and 2020, we talk. What changes in the game that you see between 2008 and 2020, evolution wise? How has the game changed as far as skill level or
For LeBron or for the league?
The league in general, and LeBron is in that conversation as well. But I want to highlight the changes that happened between 2008 and 2020.
It's a different league now. Yeah,
overall player skill and
more skill.
Still be there, at the top of the heat.
Yeah, it's a different league. Yeah, I mean, when you look back at when Kobe and Lakers going up against the Celtics, that's just a different game. He had Powell and what's the other crazy boy name?
Bynum.
Yeah.
Bynum was clotheslining motherfuckers like in closeout game.
Right.
So that's a different game. Those centers, though, they dominated the league. They still dominate the league then, and then but now centers are spot up 3-point shooters.
Bingo! Now you hitting something because remember if you
stand in the corner and shoot a 3.
But remember 2010 finals when Powell and Bynum was kicked Boston's ass on the glass. Okay, I mean, Powell was getting like 20 rebound games. Bynum was getting 15. I mean, they ate. Okay, so that's 2010. But you look at 2020 and you have a Hall of Famer that can't even see the court right now because
right.
That shift in how the intrinsic value of a big man once again, because before you had a dearth of big men to where Ben Wallace became the starting big man for the East All-Stars just by default, just because he's an undersized center at one point. So now and it's like the obsolescence of it. So where Dwight can't even get on the floor because he can't move laterally with PJ Tucker. These guys, Rockets had spread the court. But like AD, for example, I mean, you put him on in that 2010 era with the Lakers, he would have did damage, and that series probably wouldn't even go 7 games if you ask me. But you got Kendrick Perkins back there, like doing that. AD wasn't hitting weights then like he is now.
No. I don't think AD would have been able to put up with that punishment. I don't think so.
But if he hitting the weights like now, because AD is up to like 253 or something like that. When he came in the league, he was like 210 barely.
Yeah.
So did you just mentioned Howard? What about JaVale? Did any of them get any clock in this series?
I saw JaVale and Howard on the bench chilling. In Houston. So
JaVale, I was gonna say he started, I think, the first 2 or 3 games. I mean, he was only playing about 10 minutes. And then, Vogel just was like, listen, we don't stop this stupid experiment because, start more just works better. Because JaVale couldn't guard nobody on that team, and they weren't, like, coming inside. So it was a waste. I mean, same with the White. I mean, it's not that he can't board, not that he can't do damage, but there's no way you're going to guard anybody on Houston's team if they're that big. So, Frank had to adjust, and adjust he did. But it shows the difference in the game. And that also became apparent last night and the night before in this whole Clippers-Denver series. Yes, Jokic is a giant, but that fool was hitting those sky rocket threes that just made it almost impossible for him to guard because Zubac was too slow, right? And then Montrez couldn't handle him if he got in the post because he's too big for Montrez. So it just became an utter mismatch, and it was like Doc couldn't make that adjustment. Maybe it's just the Clippers couldn't make that adjustment. But, he became an unstoppable force. So it'll be interesting to see what he does this series because now he's got some people that's closer to his side, right? Plus, AD is another big that can kill and is versatile. So who's going to guard him?
Too.
That's what I was going to say.
And can defend.
He's a first-team defender capability-wise.
Right.
So he can
now. Yeah, he ain't going to stop him on the box.
Not at all.
Well, to Jen's point earlier today, we can't totally let Doc off the hook, can we? Did he? I mean, I know Joe is not what he was 2009, but he's been pretty much injury free the last couple of years, so he should be able to run and defend somebody. Am I right or wrong?
Wait, who's this you talking about, Jay?
I looked at that situation with Doc and saying it wasn't me just. Which wasn't me just blaming Doc. Like that's multiple times I say it's player and coaches. There's some things that the players play like shit. I mean, lack of a better term. They didn't play well. But when I see a coach do an interview and he's just as frazzled as I've ever been in my life or probably any of y'all have ever been, and then his players come out and play frazzled as well, to me, attitude reflect leadership, man. Like that's one of those things where every time they interviewed, and I get it, the Nuggets were a lot looser because they had nothing to lose. But man, they interview, even they were behind, Brad Stevens, Mike Malone, those guys are chilling, man, like just answering questions, giving you feedback that makes sense to, the average basketball fan. He just said, we just got to play hard. We just got to play hard.
Yeah.
That's it. There was no breakdown of anything that was going on. There was no nothing. Clearly, everybody was going out there playing one-on-one. They were worried about they weren't help defense. They were just playing one-on-one defense, and they were getting blown by. They double-team Jokic. He's killing them because he's just looking over top and then dropping off to the cutter. So now everybody else is running around. And next thing you know, he's wide open. He got 20 rebounds or whatever he's got. So, the players play. I've never, like I said earlier, I've never seen a game or –
now, Jokic
players play that bad.
And Jokic is the center, right?
Yeah.
And Jennis, to add to that, I mean, they basically treated like Patrick Beverly behind the 3-point line. They treated him like he was an old lady waiting across the damn street.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I was Doc, I would at least try to see if Joe could slow down. Joe could something. I'm going to try to use this dude.
Listen,
I say it's the same thing. It's the same tree. The Doc Rivers, the Tom Thibodeau tree. They don't make adjustments. And that's my option.
I looked at it like this. They were in, like Gary Harris made a great cut. Grant or whatever was making cuts. There's a few guys just making cuts, and Jokers was throwing behind the back passes over the top, all this stuff. While you got two guys on them, and everybody else running free. It wasn't like the Clippers were playing great off-ball defense. They were just letting guys cut in front of them to the basket.
Simple flex cuts.
Yeah, and they just did that over and over and over and over and over again. Easy buckets. And then
effort.
Yeah, and exactly. So, at some point you got to say, look, call a timeout. Y'all got to stop double teaming Jokic. Let him do what he's going to do because you ain't stopping him. But when he's getting other players involved, that team is unstoppable. And then when you got Jamal Murray, you're not hedging and him catching him when he blows by a person and getting him to throw the ball back to Jokic on the pick and roll, because most times he's going to turn the ball, or a lot of times he turns the ball over on that pass. He'll throw a wild pass. I've seen him throw it out of bounds. I've seen him bounce it off of people.
Off somebody's foot.
Intercepted. Yeah, I've seen that many times. But that game 7, I didn't see him do that one time. They didn't stop him going off around his man not one time, and he was hitting everything. He was on. He was on fire.
I thought Kawhi was supposed to shut him down.
Kawhi wasn't even guarding him.
I thought Kawhi was supposed to be the man.
He wasn't even guarding him.
But the thing about Jamal that's like Jamal Murray, and only other guard I've seen this is Dame. And typically when guys shoot their step back, when they're right-handed shooters, they typically lead with the right and a step back with the left. But them the only two dudes I've seen that can do a lead with the left foot, step back with the right dribble, and come across their body and shoot. It's like two different kind of guys. So if you have guys that can do it like on both sides, how do you prepare for that? It's like you don't even know what's coming. But that's the mark of a good offensive player. You're supposed to, whatever you do one direction, you're supposed to do the other side. So that way,
right.
Yeah. What was most impressive to me about Murray, man, is when he got inside, man, he's tough, man. He's tough. He's tough to get to the basket when he wants to get to the basket. He's more athletic than you think he is just by looking at him.
He looked little, but he's 6'4".
Yeah, well, I mean, he can jump too.
He can jump.
Think that way, but he can jump. He's strong. He blew past Sham, pushed Shamet off, layup, big guy's face. So that impressed me the most. Yeah. Plus, he was hitting, what was he, 6 for 13 from 3 last night, something like that. So he was hitting his threes too. So he played good last night. He can
play effectively on both guard spots, whether he can shade offense, or he can put him off the ball and have him run off pin downs. So usually if you have guys that be point forwards or shooting guards with the ball in their hand, it's a difference. Like when you see Jimmy Butler coming across the timeline and he's ready, he's ready to make a shot. He's not really making it. You know what I'm saying? But Jamal, after he distributes the ball, then he goes in a 2-guard mode. He goes to the pin down, and you can't even catch the dude when he's curling. So he was gonna have problems.
They had a
but
good
the
run.
thing is, though,
They had a good run.
They did. But they had him bottled up though the first couple of games.
So
right? I mean,
that's when Myron and Lee was talking a whole bunch of, oh my God, Brandon Spears. Do you see him? Do you see what's going on, Brandon? That's what they were doing the whole time.
AB, I was talking that before the game because it only makes sense that length is going to be a problem. And length was a problem. Yeah. Length was a problem until they stopped using the length.
Well,
they stopped using the length.
And I told y'all, he's going to be gas if he's got to be the offense and he's got to be the defense. He's not built like LB, so he can't do both.
Let's do it.
It wasn't just about Kawhi. Paul George is doing stupid push-off fouls on the offense, which was dumb. We just push off and hook you and get stupid fouls when I know y'all need me on defense. So that's on PG making those dumb decisions. Half the time they were being aggressive in situations where they didn't have to be aggressive. Let's
do this so we don't spend too much time so we don't spend too much time on the Clippers. Let's wrap up the Clippers right now and say what would you guys have done differently if you were Doc or whoever? what adjustments would you have made, and then let's move on to the Lakers series.
See, Ray.
Well, okay. What would I have done different? I would have gone back to kind of the things they were doing in game one. I would have made sure that Kawhi or Paul George was guarding Jokic. And that way, when they brought that high screen roll, we would be right there on Jamal Murray and make him ineffective. Now, yeah, would that get my man killed by the Joker? Maybe, sometimes. But it wouldn't let them both go off, right? In the NBA, you got to pick your poison, right? Because it's going to be dudes that's just unguardable, right? So you got to decide which poison we can live with. Can I live with the Joker getting 40? I can live with him getting 40 if he ain't going to have 15 assists and 25 rebounds. Sure. You know, get you 40. If Jamal Murray is over here with 10, and, you know, he didn't shot 5 for 20, then
Right.
he's frustrated. The team's frustrated. Everybody's mad, and I've done my job. But when you stop guarding either one of them, you know, or you play this stupid game of, well, let's double Jokic, you know, on the box and get picked apart, you pick the wrong poison. So you got to switch that up, and Doc never did switch it up. So.
See, Ray, I agree.
That's where Al Richmond is right.
No, I agree. I agree with that 100%. And I was saying the same thing earlier. Same exact thing. The only thing I changed, I'm not going to repeat what you just said, is that when they had dinner after Game 6 loss, and they said they ain't talking about basketball, y'all asses should have been talking about basketball.
Basketball, period.
If y'all serious about winning Game 7, and you don't let them come back and tie it up 3-3, y'all need to be talking about basketball. Period. The only way you should have lost that game is if you guys didn't go to sleep talking about basketball.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I mean, like, hell, after dinner, Magic would have like had all the tables moved and said, "We gonna hold practice right here. Let's do a walk."
Yeah.
Okay, Salaam or Brandon, whichever one want to jump in.
They did. They probably could have just run some lemon pepper wings to the bubble. I mean, maybe Lou would have showed up a little bit or something like that. I don't think it's really anything they could have really. I don't know, because either way you look at it, who was me and somebody was just talking about it when they had PG, Kawhi, and what was it, Michael or whoever the other dude is on Jokic. He would just go to the post. Now, when you put Harold on him, he was up at the high screen, and all he was doing was looking over top of him.
Yep.
That's all he was doing the entire time. So it's like they could have, went with the bum Joakim. Like, he got 6 fouls to use. Let him go with Joakim. I mean,
He can play defense. He can play defense. So yeah.
Me personally, I don't think it was Doc. I mean, he's a part of it. He could have made some type of adjustment, but I don't think you got superstars, bro. You got 3. What Shay say? You got 3 all-pro defensive players in the lineup, and nobody could stop nobody. It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's true.
Y'all know Stephen A. went ham on old boy today. Stephen A. went ham on his partner today. What's it?
Max.
Yeah.
Because Max said Kawhi was the best player in the world. So
yeah. Go ahead.
He said it on Twitter. He was going to get him. Yeah.
I mean, like, mine's pretty simple. I mean, like, the thing is, when you're in the NBA, or not only the NBA, this is applicable in college and high school as well. It's about what's your identity. And there are certain principles that you should have that you deviate from. But I didn't really see a demonstration of those principles in the Clippers play. So, like, okay, for instance, pick and roll. Okay, what type of team makeup are you? What's your team composition? What's your philosophy? What's your skill set? Okay, do we switch everything? Are we gonna show and recover? Do you go under the screen with Jamal Murray or not? But you go over that screen, okay, you force them downhill and funnel into some areas where, give him a different read, a difficult look at a shot where he's fading away. And that's part of why games 1 through 4 that he was bottled up. Because I remember him driving left and kind of like shooting right where like the help was coming towards him. They didn't take any kind of principle. So like I remember when LeBron was in Miami, their principle was on screen and roll, they trap you. And then when they trap you, they had D Wade in center field because he reading his eyes, reading his shoulders. As soon as that ball let loose, still we gone the other way. That's a oop to Brian. You know, so you got to look. What is your philosophy? I don't think I'm not gonna fault Doc with that, but as a team collective, nobody didn't get control and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do based on what we saw. It's 7 games, they're not doing nothing new. So okay, how are we gonna stop it? But I think Bev was in there a little bit too long in some stretches because he wasn't stopping her. I mean, so at least like, okay, Shamit's sitting there, he can shoot. At least he can get you 3 back. Any 3-pointer you get from Bev is a bonus. Everybody know he. I mean, like the shot that he did make that I think that put the Clippers at 5 or something like that. I'm like, shit, you live with that. You know, okay, good job, defense. Job well done. Make that guy all night. And he couldn't sustain it. So it's just like I said, the sticking of having principles are sticking with it. And then making little tweaks like based on that. Now with Jokic is another animal. I mean, I don't know how a guy that's like 270 and he's coming up dribbling the ball, he gets around everybody, you know, like they feet in the quicksand. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. You know,
Jokic making everybody look slow.
Yeah,
they did. But I mean, you know, the same way Luka did in the series before, right? I mean,
Luka doesn't not blazing fast. He's
but that Eastern Bloc trickery, man, just works.
I think Luka he got
Iron Curtain.
that sneaky speed is kind of slow you down a little bit and then take off on you.
J Mac, what you want to talk about next?
Yeah, well, so I guess we can conclude that the Clippers. I guess we can all unanimously conclude that the Clippers choke. So
yeah,
let's move on to the Lakers and Rockets. And I want to start off by saying that the Houston Frauds, after they won Game 1, I think one of the brothers that posted something that Harden had said was kind of crazy, and I was trying to read. Was he talking about his team or was he talking about the Lakers? Because he was talking about Hart. Remember that, Brandon?
He was talking about AD.
Huh?
He was talking about AD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was talking about size and Hart and stuff, and I was kind of like, is he talking about his team?
And at that point on, AD averaged 30 every game after that.
And I said, and I concluded, I said, well, if this clown is talking about his opposition, he's a fool because what you're doing is you're giving them fuel. You're giving them motivation. Why would you do that after just one game? I mean, why would you?
You don't get them a locker room like a bulletin board material, man. I mean,
that's dumb.
That was but I said I'll be surprised if they win another game after that. And sure enough,
a gentleman's sweep.
But that's what I was telling folks. That's that Los Angeles. I mean. That's us, right? We talking, right? Okay, we didn't went up. Okay, we just killed y'all. Y'all don't want it with us. That was dumb, right? Because anybody with a brain understands that PJ Tucker can't hold AD for 7 games,
right?
You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. That was an anomaly. Okay, AD ain't come to play. He ain't focused. He let y'all get in his head a little bit. He's done. For you to believe that you're going to do that 3, 4, 5 more times, that's foolish. But, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to talk my stuff right now. Here come Westbrook yapping, right? LA foolishness, right? And then he just looked like an idiot. Can't make a shot. you OC every other time down the court. I mean, I ain't never seen nobody turn the ball over like, well, yes, I did. James Harden. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it just turned the ball over again and again because in your head you believe something that is just not true.
He believe if I shoot the ball 40 times, I'll get at least 50 points. So
yeah. Yeah. It's fool's gold, man. And I mean, part of that I'm guessing is probably the reason that they win as many games as they do.
Well, it's the way the offense is set up. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're playing above themselves. And it's like, hey, we the giant killers and all this kind of stuff.
It don't work.
You know, all that heart. It doesn't work when the game slows down and the Giants is like, give me the ball.
And in the series, they do your homework, and then they take away your strengths and everything. I mean, them dudes went out like O-Dog and Kane. 2 LA dudes.
Yeah, I mean, because Vogel made the adjustment that we saying Doc wouldn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vogel was like, okay, this is what we did. Game 1 didn't work. We gonna show James Harden something different. James Harden is not going to beat us.
Right.
Okay. If he is gonna be on 50 shots.
What was his box scores in the preceding games after game 1? I didn't see him. Maybe I can look him up if y'all don't know.
He still scored.
Yeah,
but it was nowhere near as efficient as it was in game 1.
Okay.
Right? Because Vogel was like, nope, we sending doubles at him. Send some more doubles at him.
Yeah.
Send the doubles again. He was like, are you going to keep doing this? Yes. You know what? Meet him at half court.
Right.
Right. You're not shooting none of those. You ain't hitting none of those backbreakers on us.
So what?
You know, it ain't no crowd there. But,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, to even get your mentality thinking, yeah, we here. No, you're not here.
You're not.
You're not.
You're absent.
We own you.
So it's not.
Yeah, and he didn't go to the line as often either after game 1.
Right. The strategy was to take the ball out of his hands and make somebody else beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
And we know Joe call him Brandon Jack Russell. We know Team Wolf is gonna do what Team Wolf does, and he gonna jack and break and break and break. And then if you taking the ball out of Harden's hand, they ain't got no other answer.
Yeah, how you feel about that, B? How you feel about
I feel bad for Russ, man. I'll be honest with you.
That's your boy, man.
Yeah, I really honestly, because he's never gonna win. Like he's just never
right.
He's not everywhere he goes, he just can't.
So y'all can apologize to KD for banning him?
Nah, fuck KD. But yeah. I just feel bad for him. But see the same thing with CP3, but y'all heard it here first. CP is a free agent. He will be in LA next year. Watch.
He needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the crazy thing
Only
about
way he get a championship.
We could use him.
No, CP3 got 2 years left on his contract.
Nah, he said goodbye to OKC or something like that. I think they're gonna like
buy him out or something like that.
All that money they owe him, they ain't ready to waive all that money.
Nah, I think he's just gonna take. CP is a billionaire, man. He's not worrying about that money. He probably gonna say, all right, give me half of my contract and I'm out.
Yeah, but
is he gonna sit in that same locker room with Rondo though?
Well, I was going to say I'm surprised y'all even want CP3 when y'all got Rondo playing like he playing.
I think
and fighting like he fight.
Somebody's gonna. I think somebody going. Somebody gonna go.
Who Rondo getting a fight with?
Rondo.
You remember he Joe Frazier, Chris Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was some time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, shit,
they ain't forgot.
He did
Rondo showing up, man. Rondo showing up. He's showing up.
Hey, y'all leave playoff Rondo alone, man. He the real playoff P.
Yeah, he's
balling.
He made him pay when they sagged off him. He knocked them shots down. And the thing about Rondo is he know where the ball's supposed to go at critical junctures. You know, so like the offense was like balanced, you know, when they were making their shots. Because like that's why when LeBron was on the bench, they increased their lead because Rondo was putting it where it had to go.
Yeah, I'm with Keon. Ain't nobody winning with Russ, man. So you could just.
Yeah, I mean, nah, you can't.
I mean, the dude jumpers broke. He think he can shoot jumpers, and his jumper broke. I don't know what is it.
That's bad. I just feel bad, man. He got so much heart. It's just
he does, man. I love his heart. I love his intensity, man. He will not cheat you out of a game. That dude will not cheat you out of effort.
Game, he'll shoot you out of one.
He'll shoot you out of one, but like if you're a fan of like effort and you coach the game and all that shit before, I mean, like you want that kind of shit in a bottle and sell it.
Hey, B.
Yeah.
B. Shaver said CP3 is a billionaire. He really want to know the question of that. And what you been drinking, he said.
I see that now. I'm looking at it now. I don't know. I used the wrong word.
No, wrong consonant. That's cool.
Hey, if CP3 get his house fixed one more time, he done burned it up about 3 or 4 times. Had a tree.
I don't know what they got Carlton doing, man. These commercials is killing me, man.
Let me ask you this question.
He lived right up the street from here. Carlton on those commercials.
Who file all those claims and their insurance premiums don't go up?
Hey, off top of
what fantasy world?
Did y'all see the trade today that they was talking about with the Nets? First round and Dinwiddie to New Orleans for Drew. Did y'all see that?
For Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
Damn, I like Drew, but that's a lot.
I think. Wait a minute, run that back at me again. Let me hear that again.
It was hold on. It was Dinwiddie, another kid, in the first rounder for Drew Holiday.
Oh, that's too much. And I like Drew Holiday, but that's a lot to give up. Because Dinwiddie, he give you 25.
Yeah. But listen, Hassan's real big on Dinwiddie, but is his defense like Drew?
I don't care. He can ball. And in this league, they don't play defense anyway.
Damn way. They're gonna call a foul. I mean, they fouled Drew Holiday out of so many playoff games.
Listen, I know y'all say that it don't matter, but I remember watching Drew Holiday DKD up on many occasions, and that's special.
He's a two-way guy for sure.
I wouldn't give all that for him. I mean, that's like giving all that up for CP3, man. I mean, I don't.
That's a lot to give up, though.
Hey, do y'all remember the Clippers gave up 2 players and 7?
Oh, yeah, then you post
draft pick
for
how many draft picks?
Yo,
to give Vashawn.
How many first round draft picks?
It was 5.
Woo.
And then 2 other second rounders for Pandemic P.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, bro.
Wow.
They're probably on the phone. They're probably on the phone right now trying to get them picks back for right now. First of all, let me get 3 of them. Let me get 3 of them picks back, and you can have them.
Then we'll send them back, huh?
Yes.
Just to the picks. He was like, cool, take it.
And they can't add nobody. They can't add no players.
What was funny was, now that you brought it up, Brandon, when he was in OKC, the first year him and Russ was, they were.
Oh, they were doing all that. Yeah, they were
Russ was like, yeah, we're going to the second season. This fool over here making plans to get out of there.
Yes, that's so shady.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, it's so shady.
He was under the table making deals. That was funny to me. But
damn,
it's funny how McCollum and Dame is going at their head though. That shit is hilarious.
What is that all about?
Because you remember when Beverly and PG was on the bench laughing and they was getting on Dame,
right?
To go to Cancun after the Lakers got him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dame came back and said, maybe I need to go ahead and extend this offer to you to come on and join us in Cancun.
Exactly.
Because I was like, what? They didn't even play them guys. What is that going?
Because it was Beverly was, he had, he busts a lot of jokes. That's all he do is talk. So now, I mean,
hey, if you dish it, you got to be able to take it.
You got to join them now. You got to join them. So if the Lakers go ahead and win this championship, how y'all gonna feel? I just need to get this out now. So
hey, you can take me out of that. You got to talk about Salaam and C-Ray.
Wonderful.
Lakers fans going to be. I would assume Lakers fans going to be happy. Some Lakers fans are still disgruntled. Kind of funny to me, but
is there going to be an asterisk next to it? Because I heard early on when they were talking about the bubble that it was going to be an asterisk. Whoever wins this one.
I don't think anybody. I don't think
that would kind of suck. I mean, I would like to see the pre-Red Bull in the season in light of Kobe leaving. I'm still fucked up about that, man. Yeah, still to this day. I had a dream the other night, that like for some reason like he's like still here or something like that. That's still like fucks me. I can't believe that this dude is gone. Yeah, I still can't.
Tough. Yeah, and then they had that post the other day about Vanessa and the police chief and all that stuff.
Right.
And they were taking pictures and whatnot. It was a scene, man. That bothered the shit out of me.
Let's get into
that. I mean, to me, it felt like when like as a Bears fan when Walter Payton died, before prematurely, like it was relatively young. That's the way it feels like when we lost Kobe.
That's one thing to pass away though. It's another thing for people to be so insensitive that they're taking pictures of dead bodies for no reason. That's a problem, man. Like that. When I didn't even know that happened, man.
It did. Yeah.
At least somebody shared that the other day, and I saw that. I'm like, you serious? You're taking pictures of people dead, right?
Clout chasing.
Here's the deal: anytime there's a homicide, death, or whatever, law enforcement is going to take pictures. That's just what it is. The problem is
the dissemination of those pictures.
Law enforcement leaked those pictures.
Right.
Here's my thing, though.
I'm glad I didn't see him. I mean, it was bad enough for me to see the autopsy shit. I'm just done after that. I couldn't see that.
Maybe I don't know enough, J Mac, but I thought like crime scene investigators came. You don't touch the scene, you take pictures or whatever. Yeah, I didn't know that just random deputies that showed up can just take pictures with their own personal phones. I
don't know about their own personal phones. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is official pictures.
Yeah, I get the official stuff, but I think this was more so first on the scene. I'm taking pictures.
No, that's illegal. They're not supposed to do that.
And then got it to TMZ and shit. Yeah, that shit's trash.
Before Vanessa even found out.
Yeah. Whoever did that should be fired. Should have been fired.
Period. Yeah. Before she even found out, man.
Like, let's get into this because, and we'll get just a little bit of this because we know that there was a big spat between Candace Owens and Cardi B, and over Black Lives Matter, and then so LeBron, obviously was involved as far as supporting Black Lives Matter and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so Candace blamed LeBron for the shootings of the sheriffs, the LA County sheriff. I mean, it's just the stupidest shit. All she does is just whatever's going to get her some more clicks and likes and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know it's all BS, but here we go. So then this sheriff comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I want to challenge LeBron to match this."
Right.
And I'm like, man, get the entire hell out of here. Did you guys match anything for Breonna Taylor or for Landry Hill or your boy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did y'all do anything?
I mean, did they match any of the settlement money that taxpayers had to pay out?
George Floyd.
Shit, match that shit.
That's 12 million. That's 12
right.
million.
And so I was kind of like, but then today I saw Vanessa Bryant hit him hard, man. So
what she said today?
I saw that. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that. If you can speak on that a minute, but she did. She hit that sheriff hard about the pictures.
Well, I saw that the day before yesterday. She said something today that was different.
Well, was it today or was it yesterday?
I saw it was the day before yesterday.
2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it takes a minute to disseminate to some of us. But yeah, she hit him hard about the pictures and just the whole concept. What are you talking about, bro? This and Villanueva is just digging itself a deeper and deeper hole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, obviously it's terrible. 2 officers were shot. That's awful. We get that. But then they tried to hype up this fact that, there's this, this big group outside the hospital that is stopping emergency vehicles from coming in.
Yeah.
Saying that they want them to die, this, that, and the other. Now, there was one fool saying that, right?
Right.
Now, that's stupid. But they put it out there like it was, some kind of Black Lives Matter
groundswell.
Right, groundswell. There was like literally like 5 dudes.
Yeah.
And not blocking anything. And so you're selling this to the public so that the public is looking at, all of these folks in the street that are marching as the villains. And you see what happens here? This is what they've turned into.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just anti-police rhetoric. Now, every time one of us gets killed, they tell us to wait.
You're right.
You gotta wait. Yeah, let the process play out. We gotta get the facts. We gotta get the understanding. We ain't waiting for nothing. We ain't even caught the dude that did it, dude, girl, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That did it. So there are no facts.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna go and sell this whole narrative like, this is a setup from BLM and all those folks that hate the police to just make the things worse, right? To just, you're basically trying to set the city on fire.
Right.
And then after that, now you're going to go with LeBron. Hey, well, why don't you put your money up? Because, you kind of like the reason that this happened. Man, listen. Villanueva, his days are numbered. His days are numbered. That's the sheriff in LA. I don't see him hanging around too much longer because I've had about enough of him, and it seems like most of the people have too. Plus, you got deputies on his watch, in gangs. And I mean, the same station, right? The same police station in Compton or sheriff station in Compton is under investigation about having their own, inbred gang, right? That is out there terrorizing the public. So what are you really talking about? This should be the time when we're talking about healing, community, policing, and hey, community, help us find these killers. Let's get together. Let's do things better. But he's going all out on the other end.
I got something for you, Chris Ray.
Yeah.
You guys can speak on a little bit. As far as the majority of, well, I'm not gonna say majority, but some folks saying that athletes should just play sports, and I hear a lot, and I see a lot of people saying, why are you mixing this with sports? Just play sports.
Right.
What say you guys on that subject? Because I've gone back and forth with folks about the idea. Everybody's like, oh, well, don't that's your job. Don't protest on your job, or you make plenty of money, so you don't know what being in a bad situation is like because you're a millionaire and all this whatnot.
Yeah.
As if they've been millionaires their entire lives.
Right.
So
I have a
question.
Can I go first, Jennis?
Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, J-Man.
Do these people that are complaining you have jobs?
Yeah.
Do they talk politics?
Yeah. They're talking politics. Right? They're talking politics by saying don't talk politics.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah. To the point you're making, it is most of these athletes were not born rich, right? So it is not this, living a life that is not a privilege is not something new to them. They know that. Then there are different types of privilege, right? There's a privilege that money gets you. There's a privilege that fame gets you. And there's a privilege that skin color can get you in anywhere, right? If I'm in Japan and I'm Japanese, I'm probably going to do better than somebody that's not Japanese.
True.
Which is how it goes. Here, if you're white, it just works a little better for you. The thing is that you can never be so rich that you stop being a black man.
Period.
Right? Okay? I mean, niggas go home painted on LeBron's gate.
Right.
He rich.
Brentwood.
That's Brentwood. Okay? we can't even walk up over there without getting pulled over.
That's right.
So, this is an exclusive area, yet somebody got in there and had the time to paint his house. Nobody called or nothing. Right?
Hey, Chris, sure somebody got in there? You sure somebody got in there?
I mean, I don't know if they worked for him or worked around there or, whatever, but or if it was his neighbor.
Right. That's what J Mac is getting at. Was it somebody already in there?
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. It could be his neighbor. But at the same time, though, right, the discrimination isn't missed on you. And the same fears that happen when they are pulled over are no different than the ones that we have, right? Because everybody ain't gonna know, that okay, maybe they know LeBron, but everybody ain't, especially if you play football, right? They don't hardly even see you without your helmet on,
right?
So we don't know you. You're a big black dude. You're a threat. You're scary.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna get the treatment that the rest of the big scary black dudes get. Thus, these players, they know it, they get it, they feel it, they still feel it, even in their new fame and fortune privilege.
Right.
Right. Yeah, they can get into doors they couldn't get into before, but the issues are still there. And so to kind of speak to them like, well, you rich, what I'm saying? What are you talking about? You talking about America ain't doing nothing for you? That's crazy. Plus the other thing is this, and we kind of know this as black folks. Just because I made it doesn't mean I don't understand the people that didn't.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I was right there with them. Just because I got out doesn't mean I don't understand why they didn't get out.
Right.
Right. So I'm not gonna throw them away because they didn't make it yet. Right. What I'm gonna do is try to throw them a ladder. throw them a bone, throw them a rope, and try to get them on over here. But this whole concept of, like we're different. Well, you the rich black, they the broke blacks. I don't even know why y'all always riding for them. It ain't different. That's us.
That's class warfare. That's class warfare.
Well, what's crazy, Chris Ray?
But,
when you say that, the funny thing about it is, us as human beings, just in general, all color aside or whatever, we've all done some of the silliest shit on the planet, right? So the only difference between some of us that may end up in some sort of trouble that
it's getting
puts us in some category that we should be feared is that we got caught. You know what I mean? And that goes for every color. So as a basic human understanding should be that no matter what color I am, I've done some stupid shit. So why do I think that anybody is less than me for doing the same stupid shit in their lives that I've done myself?
True.
On top of I've had friends that have gotten caught up in situations that have ended up being some of the most, productive, most helpful members of society ever. So when people start talking about, hey, well, they should have listened, or he should have did this, or filed orders and all this stuff, man, that's a cop out,
respectability politics.
To happen. You know what I mean? Like, so it kind of gets to me in a way that, no other thing gets to me, because there's been plenty of times where I haven't followed instructions.
Right.
Hell, we've all been there.
Right.
Well, 2 points before, and then we'll let Salaam and Brandon comment on this.
Go ahead.
So you guys remember the brother from Seattle Seahawks that got almost got killed in the mall out there in Vegas when
Mike Bennett, I think at the time.
Well, I forgot his name. They thought he was an active shooter.
Yeah.
And for whatever dumb reason, because it wasn't. I think they were looking for a white guy. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, but they accosted him and was threatening to kill him. And then so you had that thing, and then two, Salaam, if you can, I know you can do this. Speak to the history of athletes. I mean, we can go back to Jackie Robinson and even before that, of athletes using their platform to speak on behalf of the community because they have a bigger platform, and the voiceless, like, regular Joes like us, we don't have that platform. So they can, just because it's not happening to them, they know it's happening to somebody in the community, and they're speaking up about that.
Yeah, but we've always been conditioned, and this is a means of divide and conquer, of separation, right? So it's where basically white society is separating the wheat from the chaff. So those that made it, and you get them in this this white Eurocentric white supremacist ecosystem, and you start indoctrinating them that I hate niggers, but you're different, you're good for us as long as you dribble that ball, as long as you can throw for 400 yards, as long as you can do this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? So it's that separation that is always exclusive to us, but when other ethnicities have their strength, they turn inward. We're conditioned to turn outward. It's like, how many times did like when Dr. Dre said, I moved from out of the hood for good. You blame me? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's in our psyche, to get away from each other, get the fuck away from each other, to do good when we should be turning in. But what does turning in look like? Okay, I know we got some bullshit that we got to cut through, in order to get to connect with one another, because we do have dysfunctions, but that's an in-house conversation that we can have. But one thing I'm gonna say before I start answering your question about the athletes using that platform. But remember the skit that Chris Rock said, where him and Jay-Z basically damn near the top of their craft, him at damn near the top of comedy, Jay at the top of the hip hop, whatever, but yet their neighbors with a damn dentist who was ordinary, right? So that's the concept in a nutshell, where you have Jay and Chris Rock, at the top, they're exceptional, but the dentist, you don't know nothing about him, but he's neighbors with them. You know what I'm saying? So that just tells you, puts in perspective, how far, no matter how far you go, you're still not better than their lesser thans. There's levels to that shit, basically. But when you have shifting to athletes using their platform. I mean, yeah, we know about the Muhammad Ali's and Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. He's a pleasant guy who I've met and talked with him for a while and things like that when I met him a couple of years ago almost. Then you have the unknowns like the Kurt Floods. You know what I'm saying? Like who free agency in any sport wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for that. You know, or then you have Spencer Haywood, who basically began shifting, that when high school athletes were being selected in the draft, what I mean, and be able to chart their own pathway. Because I think it's Spencer Haywood, then Moses Malone, then Bill Willoughby, right after that. Then in the 90s, we saw what history gave us as far as great players and things like that. But the rules was always different for basketball players because we're 80% black, in NBA than it was for MLB, where you have guys who are like 19, 20 years old who by all accounts wouldn't even be finished with college, but yet they're getting their first major league hit. Yet they're making their first professional start. I mean, how old was Walker Buehler when he hit the mound for the Dodgers? You know what I'm saying? So these seem rather young. I don't know if he's 22, maybe, and that's probably the best guess scenario. But when you have athletes that's using their platform, the standard is always different when you're a black athlete using your platform. I mean, we've seen the NFL pay for get paid by the Department of Defense to use patriotism at the beginning of games not so long ago, and then that patriotism was protested on. Then that patriotism, you had this schism of those who are pro-flag, pro-military, pro-patriotism, and those who are pro-protest and providing peaceful protests, to bring awareness to the issues that all of a sudden folks are getting now, because now it's economically and it makes sense for business. It's expedient for business for folks to get it now. I mean, like you had told me 4 years ago, the NFL would have Lift Every Voice and Sing being sung before a game. I mean, I would have said you was crazy, but now, now because it makes good business sense, now that everybody's, is pro-black. Then there was one guy for the Steelers I saw who covered the name of one of the activists on the back of the helmet with the name of an Army veteran. So I forgot the dude's name, but you still have that kind of passive aggressiveness that happens, and that's the first of any kind I saw from a player. But when opening night, when they booed the Chiefs, and who do they play? The Chiefs and help me out. Who did they play on Monday night? The Texans. When they were linked arm in arm and they booed them, a lot of people put that on NFL. I can understand why, but that's the people, man. I mean, that just show you how far we yet to go. That even though we can't it's gonna take a minute for all that stuff to change, if it ever change. At the very least, we can regulate how we being treated, how we being viewed. So we should continue to use our platform. We should continue to be that voice. I mean, somewhere back here in one of these books, I had a book from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There 2 books by this man. Now, this man, he can put pen to paper and express himself like any athlete that we've ever had across several generations. And to see the stand that he took, he boycotted the Olympics. He said, "Why am I going? The 68 Olympics, same ones that Tommy Smith gave the black fist for, is the same ones that the same guy Kareem that you see Diane Cannon being out of breath cheering for at the forum." You see what I'm saying? So, you just go to look, okay, who is your guy and what are you cheering for him for? Do you really love Kareem? I mean, when you look at how Kareem been treated since his playing days ended, it's almost like you're getting retribution for how he was when he played. I just find it interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't follow that.
Good commentary.
I can't follow that.
So yeah, you can. I ain't nobody, man.
You gotta say something, B. You gotta say something. It's
Go ahead, B. Spit your truth, brother.
Yeah, everybody's different, man. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different way of looking at things, and I know you feel a certain way about it because I see some of your comments for certain things. So you got, just like Salaam said, man, you gotta speak your truth. Everybody's truth is different.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I ain't nobody.
I ain't really. I mean, a whole
We
bunch
brothers.
And a whole bunch of it's an angry topic. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Because like y'all think, oh, Brandon, he's so mad about stuff. I'm so angry when I respond, but I'm not. Okay, when people talk about, well, athletes need to shut up, and the white bitch said whatever she said on TV or whatever, and you got Donald Trump worrying about what we're doing in NFL. See, Cap kneeled, okay, and there was a reason that he did that, but no one realized when Tim Tebow came in the league, he kneeled every game. Mm-hmm. What they say, oh, he's praying. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's doing it. No, you don't know what he was doing because he was doing this. You don't know what he was doing. You don't know what the reason was, but that was never an issue. He's like, oh man, that's great that he's praying, and
you don't know what he was praying for.
Right.
You don't know what he was praying for.
Right. When you got the black man doing it, it's a problem. So I mean, it's an angry topic because I mean, you know how many friends I had. 3,000 friends on my friends list. I have like 2,000 now.
Yeah.
I deleted so many people because they'll take this situation and they'll make a mockery. You know what I'm saying? They'll make oh, well, when we talk about when somebody says Black Lives Matter, then people go and say, well, all lives matter. At this point, you're belittling it. You're making it sound smaller than what it is. That's not the point. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it is. It's about what you can't say all lives because we're not. You know what I'm saying? So it's and these motherfuckers are still out here. There's still videos of cops killing people.
Still, even after George Floyd.
Yeah, they're still like I'm in this group and I don't know who added me. I don't know why they add me because I get mad every fucking time I see It's a group called Stop Killing. It's a group called Stop Killing Us, and they post something every day.
Yeah,
of a video every day, and I'm saying, who added to this? And I'm thinking I was curious, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to. Of course, you want to know what's going on in the world, but I don't want to see it because it's
see it every day, right?
Yeah, it makes, you know what I'm saying? It just pisses you off or whatever. And I'm like, just like the video with a dude, I can't think of his name. He's still alive. He got shot in the back 7 times.
Oh, yeah. Jacob Blake.
Jacob Blake, yeah.
So the story, and I just got into an argument with this dude, and he was like, man, I've known you for 20 years. This white guy. I know you for 20 years. Don't let this come between us. I say I'm black first. I don't care how long you know me. I'm black.
Right.
That's number one. So
right on.
When the video, he was like, well, it started coming out that he was a child molester and this and that. I'm like, you telling me this man pull up, and here's a story. The man pull up to break up a fight of 2 women.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes back to the car to get to his kids. And you telling me you just shoot him 7 times. They said, well, he's a child molester. Well, first off, if you're a child molester and you're registered, you're not going to be unsupervised with your kids anyway, period.
Right. The kids aren't going to be in, you're not going to have guardianship over them.
Right. So it's not even real. And I think that's the problem is when these black men get killed, there's always a justification.
Every time.
There's always, well, he was a drug dealer, or like the kid, like where I'm at right now, there's a 21-year-old kid that I coached him in football, right? And he just got killed. Probably 3 weeks ago. He got killed or whatever. So in the paper, it said in the paper, gang thug.
Oh man.
Gang thug kid got murdered.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Wow.
Like this, you know what I'm saying? This is what's in the paper, you know what I'm saying? And then there's just certain stuff like people just and it's not black people that's doing it. We're not going to even if the roles were reversed, I don't see black people saying, oh, well, you know, white thug, you know, supremacist, orange man, Donald Trump, you know, no one's going to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we just don't, man, it's just, I don't know. It's just one of the top.
My condolences about the kid, man. And
definitely.
I hate that they paint him to be something, you know, that's just totally unnecessary. And we know what that is, but that's just bad, man, all the way around.
Man,
Sorry.
you know how some kids, even though, man, it's like when you don't have the guidance, and then a lot of people, and that's another, like if y'all really want to get on my, like if anybody really want to understand or get on my bad side,
Yeah.
coaching to me is probably number one in my entire, outside of being a father, is number one. Because we don't have mentors, and that's the problem. There's no mentors. So this kid right here, he went to school, no father around, blase, you know the story.
Yep.
He probably got, he married to the streets, selling drugs. How it goes, drug deals going bad, he got killed. But there's no justification. Now, if you want to get locked up and you want to be stupid, go to jail, hey, that's your own life. But that don't mean he deserves to get shot or killed, and you go on the paper and say, well, he's a thug. And
they don't know him like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no one deserves white, black, Chinese.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you are. You don't deserve just to be shot. If you ain't got no gun with the cops or whatever, if somebody ain't got no gun pointing at you and saying, all right, well, I'm gonna kill you, you kill me. It's not like that. Like when we see all these white videos where these dudes are chasing the cops. Put your gun down. They're running from them. They're running from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that?
I just saw a story today. Two cops were killed by a guy just like that. They were, wrestling with him, fighting with him, and then he ended up shooting both of the cops and killing them. It's all on a car dash cam, by the way.
Wow.
My guy shot two cops.
Killed him. Yeah, after he fought with him and wrestled with him and went back and forth with him and whatever else, So, but I put this picture up here. This is iconic here. This is
absolutely
fighting his battle to not be drafted in the military for the Vietnam War. And you see the black athletes that came to his defense. You got Jim Brown, Bill Russell, and some other cats here. Some of them were from Major League Baseball and some
in the NFL too.
Hey, the one dude looked like Martin Luther King though, yo.
Which one?
Look behind Ali.
Oh yeah, he looked like.
Yeah, he do.
He looked like.
Well, the one over here behind Bill Russell looked like Dr. King.
Yeah.
I'm showing this to say that athletes have always been, black athletes have always been vocal. They have not, this is a tradition that's going way back. So this is something new. So when they jump on people like LeBron or, any of the other Kaepernick, Colin, or any other athlete that speaks out about these issues, this is not new. This whole idea of shut up and just play ball, shut up and dribble. I mean,
PR entertainment.
Laura Ingraham actually had the audacity to say that on national television, and there was no real pushback, but she said that about LeBron.
And that's the problem, that there wasn't any pushback, because it spiraled into this narrative that is what athletes should do. Shut up and play the sport. Like if people don't think that, like when someone says something irresponsible like that, and if people don't think that resonates through certain communities and it continues to be a trend and have people, feel that way, then they're sorely mistaken, because that's exactly the reason they're looking for. We're talking about Candace Owens earlier. She gives, credence to, what some of those folks feel, because she just happens to be, a woman of color who's agreeing with them, and that's one person.
And she can
but that's the thing, Jennis, is that's what I call the army of one. You know what I mean? Like so once they find one token ass Negro they can come across that echoes their sentiment.
Right.
Case closed. That case study is done. They don't look to try to stress test it to see, okay, let me see how many other niggas think like this. This is not how they do, but as soon as they find one, it's like that affirmation bias. As soon as they find that one, we rocking with that. I'm not racist because this one black person thinks that systemic racism doesn't exist. So it must be a thing.
The crazy part is in the end, when folks are done with Candace,
right,
she's gonna have nowhere to go.
She'll have her 15 minutes of fame. Yeah,
that's all it ends up being.
And it's really
she won't have a home with us, and she won't have a home with them.
Her 15 minutes of fame is really over because she did not get the invite to the RNC, but she's still trying to stay relevant, so she's still on the attack. So that's what the whole LeBron attack was about. But yeah, her fame is about pretty much over with, and as you can see too, these brothers here in the Olympics, and was this 68, Salaam?
That was October 68, I think. But they got, obviously we know what happened to him, but that fella that's in front of them, he's from Australia.
Yeah.
And I think he had, the story, if I remember correctly, he passed away, or one of them passed away. And then one of the brothers, Tommy Smith or John Carlos, I couldn't remember which one, they eulogized him at his funeral.
Right.
Because it was an interesting story.
Well, I wanted to say that these brothers were persecuted because of their stance.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Kurt Flood was persecuted. I mean, and many other black athletes were persecuted. But these brothers had a real hard time in society, just getting a job, providing for their families. And all they did was raise their fist.
Yeah.
So what has changed? Just
right.
Well, you lay it out.
Since 1968.
You lay a lot on the line when you don't capitulate. I mean, I myself have paid a price, for not capitulating, but at the same time, I have to know that, there's a God above, and I'm certain that he is there, that he will provide for me. And then if I know if I'm standing on principle, then that environment that I did not capitulate to is not going to be an environment that's going to reward me from being steadfast. So I know I'm not going to get the reward there. I have to move on to something else. But we're always put in this position, and black folks know this. Anybody, I mean, just like when we saw, if you remember when Barack was in the primaries debating with Hillary, right? And remember, like, Barack didn't say shit about Minister Farrakhan. Okay, Minister Farrakhan was asked about Barack. Minister Farrakhan gave his opinion about Barack. Said, "Yeah, I endorse him. I'm going to vote for him." They turn around and I forgot the dude who was interviewing, who did the debate. Was it Tim Mosser or something like that? But they turned it around on Barack and said, well, do you denounce him? And no matter, he had denounced him the first time, and then basically they said, no, that's not good enough. No, we want you to do you really support what he said? No, they want you to go in on your own. But all of them, when their racists act the fool, they close ranks. Like, keep in mind, like how often, like when they, like, when you have black people, and we all have black folks in our family that we know they wild out. We know that they now on the up and up. That's our family. Them our people. We good. But when you get in mixed company, like, there's always mixed company why is it in mixed company where it seems like white people make the rules in mixed company, and they say, well, you can come, Salaam, but I don't know, like, your crackhead sister, you might want to leave her at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna be eating up all our food, stealing shit from me, like, but like, you can do that. But the thing is, they stay attached to their community base, no matter how fucked up they are, no matter how racist they are, no matter what their rap sheet was, what their book of bad deeds that they did. I guarantee you, no matter how bigoted or racist or discriminatory they are, they're gonna stay attached to that power base. But we gotta divorce ourselves from our people. That's the problem I got.
Yeah, it's funny because when you said that about Obama, it took me back, because I remember back at the time it was a big run. It was a running joke.
Mm-hmm.
He would denounce his kids and Michelle if he had to. It was like he was denouncing everybody.
Yeah, and that's why they don't fuck with Farrakhan now, because they know he ain't giving them that shit. You know what I mean? Like, the thing about it is, like, they always say, well, what do you think about Farrakhan? Why not ask the man himself?
You know what my answer would be, and I know I'm not in I probably couldn't be in politics because I just can't. It's some things I can't bite my tongue on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my answer would be, what about him?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a question, why don't you go talk to the man? Have you talked to him?
That's the thing. They never talk to them. It's not about them repudiating.
Well, I'm not Minister Farrakhan. Why don't you go ask him?
Right, because that's the divide and conquer method that they use. They want you to denounce them. They want you to shed your opinion.
Whitlock, he'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Whitlock, he'll do it.
But absolutely. But for chicken change.
But to Brandon's point about Jacob Blake and the propaganda, so for full disclosure, he's got a sexual assault case pending and I read the story actually.
The warrant was vacated.
Where he basically accused his baby mama of cheating on him. He went over to her crib, stuck his finger in a certain place to get evidence. And then she didn't appreciate that, so she called the police on him and filed a charge.
But here's the thing: where's a restraining order? Number one.
But
number two. I read the third degree sexual assault laws in Wisconsin. I mean, that's equivalent. I mean, like if you was Jay, I know you haven't been to California, I know. But if you were in LA in the 90s, okay, and you went to a nightclub or something like that, the shit that went on in the nightclub on the dance floor, that's third degree sexual assault equivalent in Wisconsin. You see what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying that if it was that deep and that heinous, where was the restraining order? Why was he allowed over there? You know what I mean? Like, and the cops know that he was going to be there, with a warrant.
Well, so
I heard they didn't know that.
Well, here's why I was driving it. It had nothing to do with child molestation.
Right.
That's what they use.
We still have not officially, or the media has not. At least I haven't found it. Why the cops were called? Nobody is officially saying why the cops were called. Why is that still such a mystery? I have no idea.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I'd heard, heard, but that they were called because he had taken her keys, right?
Right. Okay.
Keys. Right. So now he ain't gonna get my keys back. So call the police. Is that the case? I don't know. But I think to pull it back a little bit is.
Chris, didn't his baby mother live in another state though?
Well,
I don't know. I was under the impression that she was the baby's mother.
Because the charge, my understanding, the charge is from a different state.
Is it?
No, well that would make no sense if they was looking, if they found his warrant, and I don't get that piece. But regardless of that fact, I think the issue is let's say he did that. Mm-hmm. Right, and that in that state, that is a crime. It's wrong, right?
Right.
Even if you feel like that, right? I mean, we all got daughters. Okay, don't even think about it, Playboy.
Yeah.
Right. So, but to say even that he did that is no reason that he should get shot 7 times. And that is the piece. It is the understanding that you can be a criminal. And you deserve your day in court. Mm-hmm. That's how this thing is supposed to work, right? It is you that, I mean, he didn't murder nobody in front of the cops. Therefore, he should have been able to be taken into custody. Okay? Yeah. Put the handcuffs on him, throw him in the back of the car, and let the judge decide his fate.
And not one officer had cuffs out. From the view of the passenger side. So like, and if you're wrestling with 5 cops, and Jacob didn't look like he was an imposing dude.
No,
he didn't look like he was our size. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying that like he got up and he walked around to the driver's seat of the car. And slowly. So you didn't say like, okay, stop right there. I'm warning you, because like if you're wrestling with them and nobody had cuffs out and nobody tried to do nothing to him to shoot him, that tells me that, just by speculation, that y'all wasn't trying to arrest them.
Okay,
that tells me y'all didn't read Miranda's.
And I don't have this in front of me. You guys look this up, and folk who listening look this up. But a week prior to that, the same city had a similar incident with a white suspect who they did not shoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wrestled with. If I'm not mistaken, this person went home. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, you're probably not. Unfortunately.
You guys don't remember that African American cop in Minnesota or whatever that shot the white lady.
Oh, Mohammed Noor.
Yeah,
It was shot the
No,
Australian
he
lady.
was from
And he was-
Somalia. I think
and
he
he
was
was
from Somalia.
and he was arrested immediately.
Yeah,
He got tried and sentenced too.
Yes,
already in jail. Already in jail.
it happened no sooner than he shot her.
Yeah.
And he was
As a matter of
saying
fact, that
he
happened
was
right
running-
after. That happened right after Philando.
Yeah,
It sure did.
He said she was running towards him, and that's why he did it. But he got arrested, jailed, case closed, done deal.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
And she
Is
was.
there no other clear cut like comparison to
She was from Australia or somewhere. I don't remember.
She was from Australia, right?
That was quick. I mean, before, and we don't even hear about it. We didn't hear about it for that much after that. It was just, case closed.
I mean, and here's the deal, Jennis. He got scared and shot the woman for whatever reason. He got scared. He saw her coming. He got scared. But cops do that all the time. They fear for their lives, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm saying. But here's my
makes
thing
him different? What makes him different?
What
He's black.
When people sign up to be a police officer, and granted, I've never been a police officer. I thought about being a police officer when I was younger, but you don't sign up to be a police officer thinking it's a job that's not going to warrant some sort of danger.
Not unless you live in Mayberry.
So right. So I'm going in and I'm thinking the cop, a police officer, there's gonna be situations where I got to make a decision, or I got to try to talk somebody down, or I got to try to do this and that. My first, instinct isn't to try to take somebody out. I feel like right now in today's society,
that's the way they've been trained.
Because nobody gets in trouble for these things. That the first thing is, okay, well, screw it. If it's even just because you got families to go home to, if it's even just remotely a chance that I'm gonna get hurt, I'm shooting you. And you can do it and not get in trouble. So that's what the biggest part of everything that's going on is. There's no accountability.
Remember the guy down in
job. If I'm at my job and I screw up my job, guess what? I get fired. I get fired. And if I do something criminal, guess what? I get charged.
Right.
Like that's not being a police officer. Someone who's supposed to have a specific level of restraint or a higher level of restraint in taking care of the community. So
remember in your neck of the woods a few years ago, a mentally ill man was playing in the middle of the street with a toy truck.
Oh yeah.
A counselor came out to intervene because the cops were called, and there was a cop aiming guns at this guy.
And dude lay down with his hands up,
sitting in the middle of the street with a toy truck, and these cops were so scared and afraid of this black mentally ill person sitting in the middle of the street playing a toy truck that the counselor was begging him not to. And then the counselor laid down his back, and guess what the guy did? Guess what the cop did?
Shot the counselor.
He shot the counselor.
Mm-hmm. He shot the counselor.
Now, between me and you, not only should he have been fired, he should be in jail.
Of course,
job, man.
And I tell you another dynamic that's at play is a couple of things. Like when I grew up in Chicago, right? But in my neighborhood, it was 95% black. It still is about 93% black now, since a lot of people are trying to move. But the officers that they hire from there, they don't even come from Chicago. They're not even from Illinois. They hire them from Bismarck, South Dakota. They hire them from Dubuque, Iowa. They hire them from like Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, the whitest of the white towns that they getting them. And so you bringing them in to Inglewood in Chicago, and now you got people who are behind the badge. They ain't never seen black people a day in their life. They're like trying to police this community. And the same thing happened here in LA when Daryl Gates took over. Daryl Gates made some kind of provision or overture, because a lot of the military bases are in the South of the United States. And when a lot of those guys were either stationed in California, stationed in Texas, or somewhere, like. What they pretty much did was LAPD. They recruited dudes from the South who were indoctrinated with Southern kind of hospitality. So you bring them in to LA, and now you have Operation Batarang. Now you have Freeway Ricky jumping off. Now you have Bloods and Crips and the crack wars. You know what I'm saying? And so now you have Rampart. You know what I mean? And it goes on and on and on. So like you just bringing white people who've never seen black people before, and it's combustible. It's combustible.
That's true. So the other point, Brandon, George Floyd, Candace Owens again. She couldn't wait. She started trashing George Floyd with propaganda and talking about his past and what he he was a criminal back in the day and blah 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 and speculating that he was a criminal, still a criminal, and like that justifies him being choked out. And I'm not saying he deserved to get killed, but so every time these kind of things happen, we're going to get the propaganda because at the bottom line is, and just like in Candace blaming LeBron, just like all the other pushback, it's to stop the momentum from having meaningful police reform. That's it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that, and they're going to fight it. And it's another group that I'm in, and they were saying that Black Lives Matter leaders in Utah had met with the Fraternal Order of Police. And I'm like, why in the hell? Why? For what? Number one, they don't make policy. They don't write laws. And they definitely don't want any changes. Why are you wasting your time talking to them?
And the thing about it is about the Fraternal Order of Police is that they contribute to Democratic candidates to the tune of 67%, as opposed to Republican candidates to the tune of 33%. And the peak contributions that they had, according to the Fraternal Order of Police website, was in 2012 when our brother Barack was in there. So like, the police union will back Democrats because Democrats are primarily pro-union. Republicans are anti-union. And so this is but when I read through
right now it's probably
see, this is what was going to get Biden in a pickle, where it should, at least if we're thinking about it. I read through Biden's police reform proposal. I didn't see nothing about qualified immunity. I didn't see nothing about rejecting the campaign donations from the Fraternal Order of Police. So that's leading me to believe, okay, where do you stand when it comes to police reform? Because I hear him barking about police reform, but I notice there's nothing specific. But when he first, last year in 2019, the very first thing that he prioritized was legislation for LGBT. That was the very first thing out of his mouth, but it was something specific for a specific group. I'm still waiting on something specific for Black folks. I know we in the pickle. I know electorally we're in the pickle, and it may not get done. And frankly, I believe Trump is going to get reelected again. But we in the pickle right now.
God bless this world. I ain't gonna say America. God bless this world if this dude get reelected.
I think he will, and I hate it to say it, but I think he will because exposure. Trump is for exposure, whether it's good or bad or ugly or indifferent. Biden likes to dance around and get away from exposure. He don't like negative press. No matter what stupid thing Trump does, it's always going to be a worse idiot that's going to be there to co-sign it. And as long as you have that, coupled with the fact that the American electorate don't do their homework by and large, they're gonna turn around and vote for his ass again. And watch the voting tendencies of white women, y'all. I'm telling you, because they voted for this. They voted for his ass by soon 63%. The last election.
I don't even get into they're talking about Biden, Trump, and stuff, man. I'm more of a business type person, so I look at who do you have working for your business. Who's
true? That's fair.
Who makes up your administration?
Right.
So if you're the type of person that's going to have talented and intellectual people who may or may not be open to things that I may be interested in your administration, then that's where I want to be. Whether it's a mixed bag is better than the current bag.
True.
So I'll take that too. So everybody who's focused on Joe or Trump, that's just the dumbest shit ever.
You gotta be nuanced.
What I noticed is ever since Barack left, coming out of the woodwork and showing their faces, all the folks that were in his administration that worked for him in the positions that we're in are some of the most talented people this world or this country has to offer.
That's right.
And that's the biggest difference to me. Right now we got like how do you run your business at like half capacity? And right now the administration being ran like half capacity. You got multiple acting positions. You have no people.
Man, the government is trash right now, man.
You know, you don't even have the talented folks trying to work for the government.
Right.
That's an issue. And that's like business 101, man. Like every time I've been somewhere, if you can't retain your people, regardless of whether it's your fault or not, then that's a problem. If you can't,
it's still a reflection on you.
Yeah, if you can't retain them because of money, you try to give them more money, or you make it a point to say, this is the reason why we can't keep people. I don't want to keep training people over and over again, because every time we do that, we take a step back.
Yeah, well,
that's what's happening right now. There are people in positions where I feel like I can do the damn position, and that's a problem. I shouldn't feel like I can do it.
You say you can do it better, huh?
I shouldn't feel that way. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I feel that way.
I got into a debate with Devon. Is Devon Johnson on here? He talked about, oh man, you know that because I was talking about the qualifications of a state leader, and I was talking about the qualifications of a president of the United States. I want a president that's smarter than me. I want a president that understands government. I want a president that knows a little bit more about this, that, and the other. I want a president that can read. I want a president that actually read reports. I want a president who listens to people. I want a president who got some sense. And he was like, oh man, it don't matter. I'm like, man, the hell, it don't matter. What are you, crazy? You know,
yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but I want a president that I can say, hey, you know, sweetie, or hey, son, you know, that's what you should aspire to be. Should you want, you know, to be in the public eye? That like,
no, any old schmo should not be president of the United States. I think there should be some.
But even if he's not reading the reports, he should be at least delegating properly and letting the people who he's delegating to like do their thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're delegating like the oversight committee for the pandemic for something like that to Dr. Fauci or whoever, okay, let the scientists and let the people in that field do their thing. Don't silence them when the press is presenting a question to them that they can answer from the basis of their expertise. You know, you coming in there trying to like spin doctor, and then you seen Bob Woodward like drop them bombs, you know, last week, you know, exposing exactly that. Now you know where he's covering up.
When the facts and evidence and science disagrees with your premise and your agenda for whatever reason whatever agenda you're trying to push for your reelection, then you're just going to continue to lie. And that's it. But I was going to say to Jennis's point too, it's more than just the presidents that's online. You got Congress, you got the Senate, you got the House, and you got state and local levels too.
Yeah, and this is an awesome topic. And I almost forgot we were on a sports page for a second.
That's right.
We gotta get back. We gotta sprint over to like the NFL or something like that.
Yeah. Let's do that real quick.
And let's talk about the NFL, because
my last comment on that is Kenyon said Rush Limbaugh got the medal freedom, and that's my last comment on politics.
So NFL, man, I watched some games. What do you guys think about the no crowd? Even though I think Indianapolis let some folks in. I think
they did, huh?
How many people they let in there, and are they required the space?
Yeah. So how do you guys think the first week went? I don't know if it's a mixture of me being so excited that football was back and that it was horrible, or if it was actually good and I was excited for football to be back. So what do you guys think?
Well, the Monday night games wasn't that good, but I am excited, you know, about like what the different teams are coming with. But one question before I go further: did they let fans in the Rams game?
No, they ain't let none of the Rams game.
They ain't let none in there, because that's a beautiful ass stadium. Wow.
But you know what they did let? You know what they did let in the Rams game?
Who's that?
And acting.
Wow.
Yeah, they left flopping and action in there.
Salaam, did you say that specifically for Brandon?
What's that? I didn't say that specifically for, because I forgot he was a Cowboy. My bad, B. No, I was just looking. I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't even on my mind, dog. I mean, like Bears. I mean, like week sometime too. So we barely like won the game that we probably should have lost. But
you can't say nothing bad about Trubisky.
Well, not right now. He got a short leash, but he got granted a reprieve right now because Nick Foles is sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I might have to let Baker Mayfield go here shortly. I'm just saying.
So what my question was, how are they doing the crowds though? How many they let X amount of people in, or are they required to space? That's what I was asking.
There were certain stands to let people in. Otherwise, it was just like crowd noise on a speakers or whatever.
Okay.
And it wasn't even. And it wasn't even like, in conjunction with like something successful happening on the field, something good happening.
Like a first down or something, or
right.
It
was, so they got to get that right. But other than that, man, it was more like a practice. The crazy thing about it is when basketball, not to go backwards, but when basketball first started, I was like, But basketball has probably been some of the best basketball I've seen in a while, or at least the most controversial basketball. I'm thinking the same thing's going to happen with football, where we're so excited to see it, we want to see anything, and hopefully, they don't get a ton of cases and have to change stuff around.
Right.
Because, baseball had some issues early on as well. So, I think I'm hoping that it's fine. As long as Andy Reid doesn't wear that same face shield he had on against the Titans, because that looked atrocious.
He like the Jetsons or something.
A dirty fish tank, like it was crazy.
He had the clear Iron Man mask on.
Yeah,
I can see the Raiders. I can see the Raiders coming out looking
He
like
look like Gazoo.
The Raiders looking like that. Yeah.
Jerry's supposed to have like 20,000 at the game this weekend. So
wait a minute. I know the Cowboys lost. You saying they lost to the Rams? Is that
he played out here Sunday.
I don't even know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
If you would have saw that damn play,
I just know the Bears gonna be here on October 26th, my anniversary, wedding anniversary weekend. I'm gonna try to get out there if I can, even if it's just a tailgate. That's a beautiful ass stadium. I ain't even been down there since they finished it.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. I'm trying to go see Tampa Bay, man. I know.
What?
I'm just saying. Look, it was the first game, no man, no preseason games. We got to understand that there was no preseason games or whatever. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm hoping that Tom Brady's still somewhat competitive. I know once you get a little older, you're still competitive, but it kind of wanes a little bit because the physical part of it ain't the same. But I'm thinking
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go out on a limb, but Tom fits in a certain system.
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say say this, because I give Dolemar, we seem to be attached to the hip on a lot of different things. But I give him hell on Fournette, but I'm still, regardless of how much shit I give him on Fournette, I still want Fournette to do well. So hopefully he gets it rocking in Tampa Bay. Fournette, Gronkowski, short passing game, play action. I can't see no wrong. If James White and Sony Michel and all that stuff, if they can run for what they ran, there's no reason why Fournette can't do the same thing.
We had an opportunity to grab Fournette too when he was waiting. He was talking with the Bears, and we just didn't do it. We drag our feet on a lot of stuff. I was surprised they got Jimmy Graham when we did, but he's like, I know he's not in his prime anymore, but he's still better than any tight end that we've had in a minute.
Right.
And Bruce Arians is not doing that dinking and dunking in Tampa, yo. That's not what their skill set is. They're not doing that little, let me throw a 5-yard route and y'all run 70 yards.
I forgot the
Tom Brady doesn't have the arm to go down the field. That's the.
I get it, but that's what Brady's skill set is. Yeah, I don't matter
him.
So he's gonna be a half a season. He's gonna be out of there.
Who they gonna replace him with? They got rid of Winston.
Well,
where's he at now? Like Carolina or something?
He looked like Winston in week 1 though. Tom Brady looked just like him, probably worse.
He looked worse than Winston, because at least
Winston he was scared to death. Now he sees what no line looks like.
He looked worse than Winston to me.
Yeah, now he sees what no offensive line looks like, and you can't just sit back there. No, it ain't gonna work.
He ain't got them hogs in front of him.
And Winston in Minnesota, where's Winston?
Is he in Minnesota or Carolina or something?
With the Saints.
Saint, okay, he is okay.
So he can get some crab legs in New Orleans too. So.
Yeah, he got jambalaya and all that shit.
Y'all stop talking about Winston like that.
Yeah, man, it's Florida State, man.
I like the kid. I just want to see him do good. I mean, like when they had him on that, John Gruden had him at the beginning. What the test evaluation that he had, and like not only did he answer John Gruden's question, but then he took the answers and expounded on it. So I'm like, this dude got a bright mind. Just stay focused and like get right.
Man, I think Winston is supremely talented.
Very.
I do think he understands the game. I do think that he demands to be great. Now, here's the thing: we all look back at Brett Favre, and we know how great he was when we were watching him. But now, if we look back at like his efficiency and some of the things he did wrong, we're like, that's ugly. Winston's the same.
I know that
He's like the same type of quarterback to me.
Brett Favre forced way too many passes. And
Hell yeah, and Winston's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winston just ain't had the talent around him that Brett had initially. He had the Donald Drivers and the Freemans, and he didn't have that. The Shannon Sharp, Sterling Sharp, he didn't have that stuff.
Right, and when he got his receivers, they were young.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how Tom does. Like I said, I'm going to check out a game. I got to see it. I'm gonna take Pops. Pops wants to go check out a game, so we're gonna check out a game. I was gonna check out a Jaguars game, but they're probably going to end up being a better team.
Are they letting fans
in?
in?
Some Jaguar
fans in Tampa?
Say what?
Are they letting fans in there?
I'm waiting. When they do, I'm there.
Okay.
Even if like Salaam said, I got to go tailgate. We got to watch
that tailgate right there because. Yeah, they got spots that kick it at like outside the football stadium there too. They built it up all around there, so I want to at least getting the vibe, get the atmosphere.
Me, Dallas, and Nate's supposed to go out to Dallas to watch the 49ers and Cowboys game.
Oh yeah, when you guys going?
You said when?
Yeah, when you guys going? Where you guys going?
I think we're gonna go probably gonna go down there for the whole week, that whole weekend.
When they play?
I think we play them in November.
Dallas or Frisco?
Oh man,
it's in Dallas.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even like in the I guess the real top, the skybox seats are like free, so anybody can go in there. Like Jerry just let anybody in there. So we're just gonna go no matter what. Of course we know we got to spend like $300 for a ticket, but if we can get it for free, then shit, we just gonna go in there and go.
So, that's real.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah. That stadium too. So
I like Dallas, man.
Yeah, I drove past the Raiders' new stadium when my wife and I were in Vegas last time. So it'll be interesting to see how I want to see how Vegas is going to change because, like, I know the hood is going to come out in full force up there.
Well, if we could ever get this pandemic under control, like a lot of the other countries do, but I ain't trying to take us back to politics. But
November 3rd, it'll be over with. November 3rd.
We can get back to normal. We can see some real. We can, see some fans come back to the sports, and we can see the stadiums fill back up. That would be great, man.
Yeah, November 3rd soon.
Well, Big B, it ain't gonna be November 3rd. What's gonna happen is they're gonna get better at treating people before the vaccine.
You seen your man came out.
Once they get better at treating people.
Dude from CDC said that the mask is better than the vaccine. I just want to know, how do you know if the vaccine would even like finalized?
It's funny the vaccine will be out November the 1st.
How convenient.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna tell you what, I ain't ever taken no flu vaccine. I ain't taking that
bullshit. I'm with you.
Doctor was just talking about the flu vaccine. Okay, every year they say that.
I'm good.
You get the flu shots, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
No, I've had the flu like 3 times in my life, man, and that's about it.
I've got the flu shot.
Knock on wood.
I've had it many a times.
Yeah,
I still don't go shot.
Like I said, they give you the vaccine for the flu for free. But if you show up to the emergency room with the flu, they charge you a copay. So anything that's free, I'm questioning its value.
And you show up to the ER with the flu, they gonna send you home anyway.
Yeah, or urgent care or whatever. If I show up with the flu, you're gonna charge me, but you're gonna give me the flu shot for free.
Listen, give me some soup and some orange juice, and I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm straight. Yeah.
Hey, I know we winding down. I got a question to ask y'all real quick about on politics real quick. How do y'all feel about Kamala Harris?
Who?
Kamala Harris.
He done put you back on it, Jennis.
well, if we're being
just her
honest,
alone, just her.
If we're being honest, man, I wish I could have met her when she was at Howard.
Dude, she was a dime at Howard. I'm not even front. Listen, and like she's a beautiful woman. I'm glad that she's like ascended to some heights that is good for, like, I have a daughter. See, Ray got a daughter. We all got daughters here. It's good to see, somebody ascend to those heights and know what's possible. I get all of that. I just still don't. I still don't know where she fits. I just don't see consistency. That's just my take. Like, and I don't care if good, bad, and different or ugly. Just be consistent with me, okay? It's like don't be on one hand, just like you're showing like if I'm seeing you on one hand, okay, I didn't even know her middle name was Davy. I didn't know she was part of any of that stuff until now. Not that it's relevant to me. I don't care, But then on the other hand, you're sitting in Harlem with hot sauce in a bag. It seems like she's just like putting on an act to me. I like to think that I'm wrong, but I want to see what does she have, that's coming forward that I'm still going to reserve judgment on.
Yeah,
But I just don't
say-
like. I just want her to be straight with me. Just drop the chameleon act and just be straight up with me. That's all I ask.
I would say like this: as most people of color in the world we live in, who adapt and adjust and assimilate to the scenarios and the areas around them and where they're at, I don't doubt that she is what we need her to be or that she was what we need her to be at some point in her life. That's why it was the Howard thing. It wasn't just because of how she looked at Howard. It was because I know that to choose to go to Howard, is an assertion in itself that she is what we need her to be. But on top of that, I'm just not, and it's, I can make it easy on everybody. I'm not sure that this country is ready for even the chance, not that a black woman, but just a woman in general can be the president of the United States. Because
but Jennis,
I don't think this country is ready. I'm ready, but I don't know if this country as a whole, if we're still having this debate about, whether or not, Biden's going to beat Trump based on everything that's happening, I know for damn sure that the country as a whole isn't ready.
Well, Jennis, half the country was willing to vote for Sarah Palin.
You're
different though.
You're totally missing
that.
Like
it's different though.
You're totally
missing that one. Here's the thing: there's plenty of rock stars in this world that people like, but ain't shit for people, and that's what we're dealing with right now.
Right.
Rock star mentality, but ain't shit for a person.
Well, let me get my commentary on Kamala. So I know about her about her history as the as a DA. I know about her history as Attorney General in California, and I also know that people grow, people evolve. People they do, like Jennis says, when at points in time they do things for political reasons. They do things to assimilate for whatever reason. I don't know what her motivation to go along with certain things or allow certain things to happen. What I can say is that I'm not one of the people who's sitting up here thinking, I can't trust Kamala. I don't know what she's up to. Maybe she's in there. She's gonna get in there and then flip on black people. That's just stupid. I mean, if people think
that's crazy.
Donald Trump is more for black people than Kamala, then go smack yourself and run in traffic.
But they don't. That's the thing. They don't have to think that they're for Donald Trump. It's not like a binary thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like.
I guess I know what you get ready to say and what I.
Yeah.
But that was about. Then you got people who saying I'm not going to vote. Okay, well that's your choice. However, we are in a unprecedented time. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. I've asked my elders, has anything ever like this ever happened? Nobody can tell me that anything else like this ever happened.
That's true too. Yeah.
This man, people say it's hype, but when we were talking about George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush, and it was hyperbole, like they were going to destroy the world and all that, that was hyperbole. I agree.
Yeah.
But this man is a clear and present danger. It's about him and his family, his empire, and he's going to turn. If he gets another 4 years, he's going to turn this republic into a something.
Well, he's going to set it back 25 years, especially with his appointment of Supreme Court justice.
He's going to get rid of everybody that will hold him accountable.
Yes.
I know.
We've already seen him sending federal troops on the streets to attack Black Lives Matter and other protesters. Yeah. We ain't seen nothing yet.
We're in a world.
I can make it easy for y'all. I can make it real easy for y'all, man. I got my Uncle Gerald. This is crazy. I know Uncle Gerald ain't in this group. My Uncle Gerald is the nicest person I've ever been around in my entire life. The most forgiving, the most understanding, the most flexible, the most, helpful. He'll help people, fix their cars, that won't pay him money. I mean, he's just that kind of guy.
Right.
But man, if this dude don't post stuff about Donald Trump every goddamn day, he sees something like. And here's the thing. Here's what you have to look at: the people in your life that you know have those antennas that only respond to things that are absolutely incorrect.
It's upside down.
Yes, they're just they know. You got to pay attention to them, man. So
absolutely,
right.
Regardless of whether you say you want to vote, you don't want to vote, you like this person, you don't like that person. Let's drill down on it. Like I said earlier, understand that this company or this country is ran by a group of people, not ran by one person. It's ran by a group of people,
right?
And if the group of people are off, and you don't have a group of people to be able to run this country, then the country's not going to run well. It's just like any business. If you're making pizzas and you only got one pizza maker on a Friday night when you're supposed to have 10 pizza makers, then you ain't gonna make enough pizzas for everybody.
Right.
You just ain't gonna work. So you got to pick who you're gonna make pizzas for, and who do you make pizzas for. And then once you decide who you make pizzas for, the person deciding who's gonna make the pizza or who you're gonna make the pizzas for has to be accurate, or it's gonna affect a less amount of people. So that's a dumbass analogy, but
no, it was spot on. I feel
cool, man. It's cool.
It was spot on.
Concerned, we need somebody, regardless of who it is, to be able to staff and listen and manage, like you said earlier, Salaam, the people that we do have in a way that benefits the majority of people.
I call it stability,
whatever that looks like.
Yeah, Jennis, I call it the stability. We need some stability back.
There you go.
Need some problems. We might not get everything we want in the next 4 years, but we can at least stop. We can at least stop this, and kind of level it out so we can start trying to build back up. Well, we need stability, and I feel your uncle, Jennis. You know, people accuse me of having Donald Trump syndrome or whatever. I saw this dude long before he ever ran for president. So the idea of him running for president was preposterous to me. So yeah, I understand exactly where your uncle is, because it's like an upside down universe. It's like, what are people thinking? And that's the way he's reacting. What in the world do people see?
Yes,
I don't understand. All this stuff is in their face, and he can stand on TV and say, "Oh, that didn't happen."
And people will co-sign it all day long.
People like, okay, well, I guess it didn't happen. You know, it's like, wait a minute, we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, you on mute. Chris. There you go.
I was on mute. Yeah, it is clear and present danger, right? That we're set up with the guy right now. But I think one of the things is, and I really didn't get this until recently, is that because we keep looking at the guy and we're like, how are you voting for that guy? You know what I'm saying? How are you riding with him?
That's a reason. Yeah.
He's a narcissist. He's a bigot, misogynist, whatever, all the vocabulary words.
That you can use,
He fits all of those things. It's like, how could you? Why would you? Plus, I mean, the dude's a billionaire that was born rich. He can't relate to you. What do you see in this dude?
Six-failed businesses, yeah.
But the thing is he is the enemy of their enemy.
Exactly. There you go.
Right. So he is their friend, right? Because and I was talking to my wife about this. Part of it is our own fault, right? Because we have made people that aren't successful feel like nothing.
Right.
Right. People that are not highly educated to feel like they ain't enough. Right. And so with that, the Rust Belt, the coal miners, the people that work in the factories and all of this, and not saying we personally, but those that are successful and educated in all this, right? We are looking down on those folks, or had been, right? And so thus, when they factory close, you're like, well, get another job.
You're right.
Like, I can't get another job. That's all I know. He's like, well, learn something else. And he's like, but I can't though. This is my home. This is what I know.
Right.
And so we just kept on, crapping on them. And so eventually here comes this nutcase that says, hey, coal miner, I'm your guy.
I'm gonna bring back coal.
Right. Now, how is he that guy? He don't care nothing about no coal.
Right.
This ain't even on his radar. But hey, I'm your dude, right? Because I hate them too. Right? I hate those coastal elites too. Wait a minute.
One of them.
You are a coastal elite. You're
Exactly.
elitist, right? From the coast.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
He just kept banging on everybody else, and they was just like, "That's my dude.
Right.
That's my dude. He riding with me. He ain't
ride or die.
He don't say what he's supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? He says what he feels." Right? Even if it's stupid, even if it's not PC, right? He gonna say, hey, listen, them some bad hombres coming over here from Mexico. Man, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
Donald Trump talks like people talking in their house.
Right.
Right? The things that you ain't supposed to say, he on a mic. Right? He had
Go out to the world.
Right. And so now he got the other folks that's like, that's right. That's my dude. Say that. The same kind of way that we was like when Barack was over there bobbing his head to Jay-Z.
Right. Brushing his shoulders.
Come on.
Blowing Al Green.
They feeling the same way about Trump.
You know what's crazy though?
I think he wanted to comment on Kamala too, Chris. And I'll to say that, and to that too, I'll say Chuck D said in Black Steel in Our Chaos, he's pucking up the government.
You know, hey, C-Ray, you know what's so ironic though? That, you know, because I have, you know, clients that talk about, you know, I ask how business is going or whatever, and they'll say, well, you know, some folks, you know, it's not that great because folks are doing, you know, same jobs as I'm doing for, you know, half, you know, the cost or whatever.
Right.
And you know what that means.
Yeah.
You know who's doing a job for half the cost.
Yeah.
The issue is that the people that are complaining about it, or the people that they're working for, started it in the first place. You're building a house, you're trying to cut costs, you're bringing in folks, you're paying them under the table, doing all these different things to get cheap labor so you can make more of a profit. And now all of a sudden, never mind.
Yeah.
We don't need you anymore. Why don't you, you know, you're the problem. I'm like, wait a second. No, you brought me over here. You accepted me. You used me to make what you need me to make more money.
Blaming it on me.
And now all of a sudden I'm the issue.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue. You know, the housing, you know, bubble 2007, 2008, when that stuff happened, man, I saw it. I watched it. I was in lending. I did those, you know, I did the loans. People didn't know what they were doing. I saw who were building the houses. I saw how fast they were being thrown up. I saw what they cost. You know, California was hit hard, man. Out in Cali, they were just dropping off keys at the bank. Here you go. I don't even want it anymore.
Take this house and shove it, huh?
And it's because of a house that somebody built at half the cost. The builder made their money. The builder's gone already. The bank sits with it, and then we end up bailing out the banks.
Right.
So, what are we really saying here? Like, come on. Like, I just want people to take 2 seconds to use. I'm gonna say this real slow for the cameras. Common sense.
That doesn't exist anymore, brother.
Not common no more.
Just common sense will make me feel better because it's obvious. All you gotta do is pay attention, do your own research, check into things, see the logical, you know, how things happen logically, not just, you know, how it makes you feel because somebody said something that makes you feel good.
Right.
That's not how that works, man. That's not how that works.
Well, Kamala, Chris, you're from California. You can comment on her real quick.
Well, I think it goes to kind of some of the things that you were even saying is that, you know, her track record today doesn't look that hot, right? From the things she did in California. Now, but you have to rewind to the California of then, right? There was a time when
crime bill.
It was so bad that we was asking for anything to stop it.
Like the crime bill?
Yeah.
Right, like the crime bill. Just like the crime bill. I mean, the streets was flooded with bodies. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, listen, I don't care what you got to do. Lock them up forever. You know, 3 strikes, 2 strikes, put them away, bang. Right. So these things start happening. And then, but now we judge old things with a current lens.
Right. Not looking back and saying, look what Joe Biden did.
Right. And it's just hard to do. You can't really do it because it doesn't work. At that time, this is the way you felt. and maybe you didn't know the ramifications
at that time. Okay.
At that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm kind of on the space of, listen, give it a chance, give it a shot. Let's see what, she comes with. To Jenna's point, the fact that, listen, you go to Howard, you make a choice to go to Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's plenty PWIs you could have gone to.
Right.
So you go there, you make a choice to pledge a black sorority. Right. And so it is, not by accident. So I don't think it's all phoniness showing up right now. But at the same time, how much capitulation is too much? Right. Versus, because here's the thing, and this is what we got to understand. Nobody is going to vote in a black person that's saying, I'm about to ride for black folk.
That's right. Yeah.
You better let them be about as covert as they can be.
You hear what I'm saying to you? There is no way you're gonna get up there, especially at a time like right now.
Well, that's true.
No way you're gonna be over there. Listen, I'm changing everything for y'all that's about to happen. Hey, vote me in and I got you. Please.
Covert. Let it be covert.
They gone.
Because they don't see the strings that's pulling that seat.
Right.
Well, at least you didn't say, hey, black folk, what the hell you got to lose?
Right.
There's that, that fool. But
what the hell you got to lose? Just vote for me anyway.
Or vote for me and you ain't black. That kind of thing.
Did y'all see that stuff with him yesterday on ABC?
That's what I was talking about.
That town hall, the town hall.
The lady that and I was going to tell Jennis that the lady that
the black lady
asked the question about health care.
Yeah,
he was on point, man, because she was saying, her medication and things that she was born with this condition. She's a college educated. I think she's a professor, ain't she?
She said she got a master's. She's got her bachelor's and doctorate.
But she got this pre-existing conditions that if it wasn't for the ACA, she would have no insurance. She'd be dead.
Obamacare.
This dude is trying to destroy the ACA. Wake up, people. There's no replacement for it.
No, I'm trying. What's even funnier? What's even funnier is he was saying he was going to give them the same thing as the ACA.
But that dude is lying. He
just talking.
You're going to give them the same things that's already provided to people.
Yeah.
You're telling them you're going to give them the same things.
We'll destroy it and give it back to
things.
you, right?
And why the hell are you repealing it then? Like, come on.
Man, that's funny
like
stuff.
that's why I said, common sense, man. Common sense.
Look, I like what MLB is taking a stand. The NBA, obviously, the WNBA and the NFL has been taking a stand. I'm specking to see, and then you got tennis star. What's her name?
Naomi Osaka.
Yeah.
And
I know there's a lot of fans of them, especially in the MLB, because they're not used to this.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace. I mean, he's doing his thing.
Bubba Wallace, and there's another cat in NASCAR. I saw the other day. Had on a T-shirt. I don't know his name. But his pants was sagging. I thought
that's the F1 driver.
Yeah.
I posted that the other day.
But the point of the matter is that this is a time that everybody is seeing that we're trying to seize. We cannot allow those who oppose reform to shut us up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's crazy is what we should realize is there's strength in numbers. I mean, that's a cliche, but if you have multiple people speaking out against something that's wrong, you can't focus on one or two of the people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's harder to shut the operation down. You know what I mean? Like that. So the more of us that speak out, against the things that we know are wrong, let's not even put a title on it. Just say wrong.
What's my boy with Hootie and the Blowfish? I forgot his name.
Darius Rucker.
Darius spoke out. Dolly Parton spoke out. Some of the other old country stars have already spoken. Willie Nelson have been spoke out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who does it listen, serious question. Who does it hurt? Like, really, like, even the people who are against it, does it really hurt them?
No, that's the power.
Yeah, I mean, does it really hurt? Like, you want to be above something. Like,
no, hurry out.
Being above something doesn't make you powerful. Being amongst, something makes you powerful. Being able to work in a group that makes, your skills, their skills, everybody else's skills as one makes you powerful. Not just you being powerful.
With Jennis, if you had a job where you can do anything and get away with it and not ever be held accountable, would you feel funny if they were trying to change the rules?
Yeah, I wouldn't be that. I don't want a job like that.
Like, I wouldn't either, but that's basically what law enforcement is right now.
Right. No, I get it. I understand the concept. I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
But to me, I'd rather have a situation where I with a group of people, we can all be successful and we can all, succeed based on all of our differences and all of our similarities in a way, that makes whoever we're working for, or if we're working for ourselves, better, to be able to adjust and adapt to the things that we want to do, for other people and whatnot. Like I'm just that type of person. So whenever you say, being in charge, like, yeah, of course I like being in charge, but when I'm in charge, you don't know I'm in charge. I'm one of my employees, or I'm the type of person that's trying to make everybody else better. And I'm trying to
you're kind of cat. You're not a micromanager. You let people do what they got to do.
Listen, micromanaging only works temporarily, and yeah, it does work for that small moment. But as far as building relationships with people in life, it doesn't work. Like, I have people that
not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
And I have people that call me now and are like, man, you were probably like the best manager I've had in ever, and I've only learned from you. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I didn't even know that much.
Yeah,
what you mean you learned from me?
Right.
But it was just being respectful, responsible, and understanding where people are coming from and trying to make things better. And yeah, did that sometimes bite you in the ass and people still want to take advantage of the person who's looking out for you? Yeah. But
life. Yeah, that's
at the same time, I influence more people than the people who don't like me.
Yeah. But
I guess what I was trying to say was that not every cop, of course, there are some cops that don't mind having more accountability, but there's a large segment of police, especially the union, that don't want that accountability.
Right.
And so they're going to fight tooth and nail on this. And they got their hands in the pockets of politicians.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, because I've come across some really, 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 really good cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've come across some questionable cops.
I have some friends that are cops. I know exactly what.
Yeah. I mean, whenever, and I'll say this because, damn, you guys got me on politics and stuff. But the only thing I wish folks could have did differently is came up with a different, like, with all these smart people dealing with what's going on right now, wanting police reform, could we have came up with a different thing than defund the police?
Right.
Could we have come up with like a different slogan?
Right.
Different way.
And then you say defund the police, and then you give somebody who's trying to flip it and be political about it that window of opportunity to make it seem like it's a bad thing. And you got to explain yourself.
It's called it better training or something. Whatever they want to call it.
Anything.
But it's
that was the worst. That was the worst possible thing they could have said.
Mm-hmm.
Maximizing resources, whatever you want to call it.
Said that the first time I heard it, that's what I said. I was like, listen, we've got to come up with a better name,
better message,
better messaging. But it is there are folks that believe, listen, we have got to radically speak to these things for them to change,
and that doesn't work.
I personally am not one of those that thinks that, because I think that what you want to do is win people, not shock people.
Right. You don't want to rub off.
Yes.
You are trying to bring people in and bring others to your side. Now, some I don't care if they come to my side, but you do, because in a democracy,
you need
more people on your side than the other side.
Yeah.
So you've got to do something that at least appears to be inclusive, because what's going on here is bigger than police. It is us trying to change the way people view this country.
Trying to change the culture. Yeah.
And the culture in general. And that is what they are fighting against. You are stealing my whole concept of the country, right? So you are coming in here trying to rewrite history, say that we worse than we were. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to tell me that it's not the greatest place on earth.
Because it's not MAGA. It's not MAGA.
Right. All of these things that these people have grown up to believe, right? My daddy, my granddaddy, his daddy told him, and this is life and this is how it's supposed to work. Here you come and saying, no, it don't work like that. Never really has for us. And I'm telling you, it's about time to change it. So now you're trying to change it to fit something different.
You need allies.
Inclusive, yes.
You need allies.
Inclusive, But if you were the one that was already in the privileged seat, being brought down to inclusion and equality,
feels like
right?
oppression.
It feels like you are now being brought down to oppression. And so that's the big thing, and that's why you can be a gangbuster if you want to, but ain't nobody gonna hear you.
Well, I think one of the big things too, Chris and Salaam, we know we talk about this in other groups. We have way too many people that piss on our elders, and when I say that, meaning that they look at Dr. King as weak, and the whole civil rights movement, begging and pleading and blah blah blah. But they had a method to their madness, and they knew that it was a certain way that they had to approach that thing in order to get enough allies to make changes. So we can take a page out of their book and learn something from them. We wouldn't be using words like defund the police or whatever.
No.
We trying to get allies here. So if we want to get allies to help us further our cause, then we want to use words that's gonna send the right message and resonate. And there's a lot of folk that are telling us that. They're saying, hey man, you guys need to change that message up. But you got people that just won't listen. No, man.
And you gotta like Salaam said earlier in basketball, because I'm trying to stay sports related on you got to have an identity, and your identity has to be something that's going to work for the majority of people. And having people out in the streets trying to defund the police all the while Black Lives Matter, BLM folks are being set up for saying or for doing certain things that ain't even doing,
right?
Type deal. You got to make things, you got to be smart about it. You got to make slogans and speeches and things about the majority of people. And what I tell my kids all the time, and I don't really get into politics with them a lot, but I'm in Florida, so a lot of times we've had to go to the school because people are promoting Trump in the classroom type deal. Like it's that bad. It's that bad. So I got to tell my kids, listen, look, it's not even about politics to me. I'm listening to the person. And if somebody's lying to me and I can see that they're lying to me, like I listen to a lot of Trump stuff real time because he lies to me, to my face.
He's a liar.
And then people try to flip it or whatever. I get it. People don't like to admit that they're wrong. I've learned a long time ago that I've only ever grown because I've been able to admit that I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I got to tell my kids, listen, you got to go by how things make you feel as it pertains to the majority of the people that are in your life. And what I mean by that is, if you know that things are going to affect people in your life, don't just agree with it because it's what the mainstream is doing or what people around you are doing. You got to be able to stand up and say, no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't care if it's a peer, a teacher. I don't care. Now, be respectful when you do it, which goes back to the defund the police thing. Change your wording, but work on making your point so that people understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I was just telling my son that same, echoing that same principle, like when my wife and I were talking with him, a lot of the issue we were dealing with him, and I said, oh, this is what you think about this is what you believe. And he said, yeah. I said, well, why do you think that way? Why do you believe what you believe? And he said, well, it's kind of hard to explain. I said, so it's hard to explain, but it's easy to fall in line and believe it. I said, so you should never fall in line and believe nothing if you can't articulate it. Because if you can't articulate it, then chances are it didn't even resonate in here and it didn't resonate in here. So like if somebody would have come up to me and say, yo, Salaam, like, I heard you was a Muslim for almost 30 years. How you be a Muslim for 30 years? I can drop some bars on why I became a Muslim for 30 years. I ain't gonna come to shit talking about it's hard to explain. No, because I know what thought process and what discernment I had to use to make that decision for me. I'm not saying that everybody got to make that decision. That's fine, but I told him, like, look, don't like, if you're gonna make a decision, at least be able to articulate your reasons behind it, and at least be able to find the measure of multiple measures of evidence that support why you make that decision. Don't tell me no shit like it's hard for me to explain.
Hey, Salaam. Yeah, why you Muslim? Well, I don't know. I woke up one day and
well, You know,
I woke up one day and I saw somebody on TV.
The crazy part about it is the people that really care about you, you shouldn't have to explain.
You shouldn't have to explain.
You already know who you are as a person. Who cares about what you decide to do with your personal life? And who cares about why you need to explain? If they ask and they want to be familiar with, you know, what you believe in, so they can
want
be
to
better
learn
friends,
more or whatever.
so they can be better friends.
Yeah.
Then sure. That's what I told a guy one time. He was like, it was on one of Donovan's posts, actually. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, so when a friend comes to you and says, hey, this is bothering me, if you're a friend, do you say, hey, get over it, it's not true? Or do you say, hey, you know, what's going on? How can I help?
Yeah.
You know, help you get past that. Like, you know, which is it? So if somebody's not willing to say, hey, how can I help you? Or, hey, you know, tell me about it, a little bit about it so I can try to understand where you're coming from.
Or give me some feedback so I can be better.
Right. If there's not saying anything, if they're saying anything other than that, then, you know, screw them, Brandon. Go from 3,000 to 2,000 friends.
That's
like,
right.
It don't even matter at that point, because if they're not willing to listen to you, then there's really no point in talking to them.
That's right.
Period. Yeah.
Hey, Dennis, I got a question for you.
What's up?
I'm kind of with you on that too, on the game, recognize game. But how do you feel about somebody who's really kind of stupid trying to run game and lying to you? It's really offensive to me. I don't know. Maybe I just take it a certain way, but I mean, it's kind of like, let's say the Three Stooges trying to run game down on me. That's how I view Donald Trump when he says stuff, and it's like, man, come on, man, how do y'all believe this crap? And it's just like offensive to me, man, because I'm like, do I have to be? Do you must really think I'm really stupid to think that I'm gonna accept this crap that you're saying?
Oh, before you answer, fellas, I gotta drop off. Okay. Cause I gotta do the family man stuff. But I want to touch down. It's been a minute since I touched down with y'all. But I know C-Ray ain't there, but I'll probably see him around. But it's good to see all you brothers. We talk soon, okay?
All right, Salaam. We'll talk
all right, be good, fellas.
All right.
Yes, sir. We wind it down anyway, but go ahead, Jennis.
Yeah, what I'm gonna tell you, J Mac, is it is disrespectful. I mean, it is disrespectful. Here's the thing. What I've noticed in my life, because, you know, man, Brandon can relate because we lived in the same area. I know Brandon is my boy, you know, just to put that out there. I know we go back and forth about some dumb shit, but me and B.
Are you in Florida too, Brandon?
No, I'm in Maryland.
No. Southern Maryland, Lexington Park. Like I know Brandon. B is my boy. So I may fuck with him. He may, you know, say some crazy shit, but me and Brandon cool. But we grew up in, you know, pretty much the same area. And the thing about it is, when people get comfortable with you, and I'm not going to say what people, when people get comfortable with you, you feel comfortable. You know, and then, you know, when it comes to the point where, you know, things kind of clash and you see what type of person folks really are, which is why Brandon lost a lot of Facebook friends, then it's hard to adjust. But what I'll say to you, J Mac, with, you know, from the aspect of, you know, it being disrespectful for trying to lie to you. All you can do, like Salaam said, is to Brandon earlier when we were talking about stuff, is speak your truth. To me, you know, I try to keep it, you know, amicable and laid back and chill, you know, when I discuss things with folks. And I try not to get, you know, too deep into it if I can feel that they're not receptive to what I have to say. You know, and we had talked earlier about, you know, stuff in the chat or whatever about the whole anxiety thing. Like, I get wound up, man. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I get wound up. Like, I'm ready to do like all kinds of.
He froze.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good reason. That's a good thing. You go tell.
Yeah.
Don't tell us what you're going to do, Dennis.
He still froze.
Yeah, don't tell us what you were gonna do, Jennis. FBI might be watching.
Oh my God, his hand is still on the screen like this.
I see it.
Oh my God.
You still moving?
No, you good.
You finally back now.
So, like I was saying, it ends up being to the point where it's not beneficial for either party. That's how I'm gonna put it. So. Still frozen?
You're going in and out there.
Oh man, tripping. I got that Florida Wi-Fi. Is it straight now?
Yeah,
you good. You good.
All right. So, like I said, man, you got to be respectful and responsible when you respond to people, regardless of how you feel on the inside and how, things that they say may make you feel. I have friends on both sides of the fence. I have people that come up to me with, we wearing a mask and shit, and they,
Yeah, go again.
Well, no. Yeah, you're going in and out. You're cutting in and out there, Brandon. I mean, Jennis.
Damn it. Well, I ain't gonna keep talking.
Chris gone.
That's all right. Well, go ahead and throw your closing comments out there, Brandon, and we'll call it a night. We lost Chris, like we lost Chris too. So
yeah, he jumped on.
We probably gotta get more of a, I don't know, do this probably more often. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know, nourishing you, kind of learning from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we're getting all this. It don't always got to be about sports. We're just sitting there talking something, go from sports to go into like real life. You know what I'm saying? And I can always appreciate it, even though sometimes, I might be on here just talking crap and going at people or whatever, which is all in fun spirit anyway. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, get no personal or get serious with nobody, but we could probably, I know we all said, man, we got to do it Wednesday and Saturday, but if we can get on a good schedule with this, because I would tell you, if LeBron go ahead and get to this chip, it's going to be something serious.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, and then, we do have, and just FYI, we do have other platforms, other groups we can do political discussions in. So that's not a problem either. If we want.
Can you hear me, J-Man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man. I see you popping those up, man. You got to invite me to some of those, man. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, we can do that, man.
You gotta let me know.
Sometimes I do them on my page, Salaam and I, and then sometimes we do them in groups. So either way, we can work out something. You guys feeling like you guys want to talk about something, just hit us up, man. Hit me or Salaam up, man. We can make that work and go from there. But yeah, man, I think we had a great discussion tonight. That we covered the NBA playoffs. We covered NFL, some of Major League Baseball, and
your girl.
Yeah, your old girl, from tennis player, and then some politics, and so we had a nice round of discussion, and all these things affect life, and you ain't gonna never get away from life, man. No matter what you're doing, no matter what sport you're playing. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of the season unfold. It's lining up. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be the Lakers and the Heat. That's what I'm thinking. So I don't know if y'all want to call it. But I'm thinking that's who it's going to be.
I like to see Boston because I'm becoming a more of a Tatum fan, but I don't know. I don't know. If Miami get them right here, I think that's going to be it. Yeah, if Miami win game 2, that's it.
Because Miami ain't going to let up, so you're not going to have no regress. But it looks like you froze again there, Jennis. So
it's funny. Now we got some memes. Go ahead and get rid of the Michael Jordans. We got some Jennis memes right now.
So I should do a screenshot right now, but no, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so that concludes our discussion tonight. You guys, thanks for joining us. Y'all have a great evening.